All right, what's up, guys? So, Chris the Narc has uploaded a video titled Just a Robot Does Another Embarrassing Interview. Don't surprise me, honestly, but anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Chris the Narc for more videos like this. And with that being said,
Like, I think in the clip I say things like, your is slandering me or something, and there's like a bunch of guys around me.
What?
That's the artwork you got excited for? Bro, homie, this is your actions. This is not Kumo's fault. This is your fault for doing these things. Stop trying to use Kumo as a scapegoat. It was late for me.
No, he always feel like he got.
So I asked leading questions for them to make my video sound better. Bullshit. You already knew in your head what kind of video you were going to make at the time. Why is he talking like this?
Yeah, because so for those that don't know, so he made like, I think it was like either just the two videos where one was like going against Cinnambear, and then the one that he did end up uploading onto his main channel. But yeah, he tries blaming Kumo because Kumo uploaded the original take of the video. And for some reason, he panicked and he thought, oh, well, let me do a video defending the girl. And I just, yeah. It's something where I'm like, I don't get it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, the more content you see surrounding the situation, then that's when you realize, like, oh, he wanted them Cinnambear cheeks. Okay, you know, yeah, it's like he may say, oh, I have a girlfriend. And I'm like, bruh, there's people out there with significant others that still cheat. It's one of those things where, like I said before, if his girlfriend is still with him, she is a trooper. Anyway,
I was being selfless defending a groomer or trying to not do the research to understand why people are mad at this person and why the evidence stacks against them. Bro, don't you have some autonomy to understand that both of these people are insane? There's no way for me to be like remotely charitable to Jar anymore. It's just literally impossible.
You're suing a man and you end it with a fucking dog hitting a fucking drum!
Oh, I'm fucking mad.
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
I think I said that the last time. I feel like anytime when I hear that song, I feel like I gotta watch me some episodes. I gotta go check if like I don't know. Well, Netflix seems anytime I'll be wanting to look for something, they don't be on there. I wonder if they got like best cop moments or something like that, because I'm like, I gotta watch that show again. But anyway.
So this is Jar apparently doing a call, as you can see from the timestamps here, on 1/26/2025. If you remember, Jar uploaded his video. I want to say it was maybe a little after this. Let me just double check my timestamps here. January 18th. So yep, this is a few days after Jar released the response video.
Oh.
So this is an interview that he did with a channel called Ace Space. All right. Let's see how Jar handles this one.
Hello?
Remember when he said he was planning on not coming back until August? Like, he wasn't going to do any other content. He wasn't going to do like literally anything. He was going to leave the internet until August. Jar, why are you doing interviews with less than 1,000 sub YouTube
Well,
channel?
no, people were saying that too. He was doing shorts for a little bit. And I think he thought that, like, I don't know, I think he must have picked up, because if he picked up the subscriber view argument from me, then yeah, I think he's seen that I was doing well with the shorts, and that's why he was all like, oh, well, let me do shorts. And it wasn't taken off for him, because it's like people ain't trying to watch those shorts or whatever it is that you talking about. It's like what my thing is this. If people wasn't already watching your full-length videos, why would somebody want to watch a short video of yours? And then I guess, I think when I last checked, like, people were bringing that attention over to his shorts, because I think that's what it was. He was all like, oh, I know I can reach a newer audience with these short videos. But I think, yeah, people were all like, nah, bro. It's all like, we know what the business is with you. I'm like, you a weirdo. You a weird one, Mr. Grinch. So, but anyways.
Still, why are you doing this, Jar?
Hey, Jar.
Hello, Ace.
Desperate.
All right.
Oh, he's already on the 1 HP voice. Hello, Ace. Hello, Ace. He's already on the 1 HP voice.
Yeah, I guess it's time for the call then.
All right.
So, I guess like I had a lot of questions to ask you with your video, and this is an attempt to try to get your side, obviously. So, For starters,
The
I was
response
brought a claim
video?
to me, not yesterday, but during the live stream, that there were some parts that you were allegedly lying about, and I wanted to hear your side about it. So, are you familiar with your segment? Like, you remember your segment with the Ponder thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when
He doesn't sound too happy that that's immediately what he's being pressed on is the Ponder story, the Mally story, all that. He doesn't sound happy. This is already starting off well.
you said in your video that she made that maid dress with without your consent, right? I was told that Ponder had your consent.
Wow.
Are you serious? We're pressing him on the fucking maid dress allegation of consent of artwork. Are you kidding me?
Well, I have no idea. Like, I really don't remember. I mean, if there's evidence that I gave her my consent, then there's that. But I don't.
You can't just brush that off. That's showing like one. Oh God. Okay, we're already starting off strong with Jar lying about something. So it's so minute, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the long run. Okay, it's not one of the bigger lies. But the problem is, Jar, that now what you've done is essentially thrown up into the air. If you're going to lie about something small like that or not do research on that, what else are you lying about, Jar?
Definitely wasn't in contact with her.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. But the thing is this, though. It's more so, I think, him and his fans just really wanted to set me up. I can't remember if I talked on this the last time I reacted to one of Chris's videos, but I just, with the situation for those that I guess that were following Just the Robot at that time, and it was a situation where he was trying to say that it was him and his fans actually that were trying to say that I ignored a suicidal person. Yeah, it turns out that Just the Robot knew the person the whole time. And I asked, and I was all like, because the person that told me that information, I asked them, I was all like, they had to have known of each other or something. And they was like, yeah, they were in the same Discord server, so most likely they had a conversation or two. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I just, so yeah, overall, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I just didn't believe it from the start that was some just random suicidal person that came across my profile. It's like, yeah, during that time frame where those guys, they were trying to look for anything possible to cancel me on. Yeah, good setup. I'll admit that. I actually did kind of walk myself into that. Probably if I never would have made the tweet that day, I wouldn't even have gotten into that situation. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, but why do that? It's like I find that kind of dark, to pretend to be suicidal and things. And even the friend of the individual that pretended to be suicidal, they told me like, yeah, that was all the fake. That was all, they just was only doing that for views. And I'm thinking to myself like, man, that's a dark thing to, to do for views or to do to get me canceled and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, overall, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, if him and his fans will, I guess more so just collecting them all together, if they lie about something like big like that, small things, they're not gonna care about no small lies. So that was overall the point that I was trying to make. But anyways,
the thumbnail thing, and I did say
he's too autistic to lie. Jar is innocent. I know Queeman's community is doing the whole the whole Jar redemption arc meme, but he is funny. I will give it that. He is funny to laugh at. I will agree with Queeman and his community on that, but I can't. The autism's too much for me.
I don't really care.
Right, yeah. I mean, the only thing I just feel, it's a little weird personally to be included, but like these were DMs I was given by I guess Lio for Ponter or something like that, of like what you guys had. It doesn't really show much besides.
Oh, why are we skipping past
like these were DMs I was given by I guess Lio for Ponter or something like that, of like what you guys had. Doesn't.
Comes with cat, sitting whilst having a cat allergies. Join the chat when you are ready. Okay, I'm gonna grab some food real quick. Some kind of like background art, and then Ponder Sprocket just sent the art.
Really show much besides her having the conversation with you.
Okay, yo Ponder, you on? Okay, so she just sent work to him privately. He didn't have an issue with it in that moment. And so I can see where the lying's coming from.
I mean, I don't.
Can we keep him as a pet? I don't want to keep Jar as a pet. I'm afraid of that.
I don't see how this implies consent. I don't really care.
Yeah, and plus everyone's telling me that he posted it on DeviantArt as well, so he was okay with it. He posted it on DeviantArt for everyone to look at.
Allegation, I guess, like from her side is just apparently.
And tried to like backtrack and say that he didn't give consent to the art. That's weird, man.
She asked you in a call, which obviously is going to be he said, she said.
Isn't it amazing that, like, time and time again, the evidence...
Yes, Jar has a DeviantArt account, or he used to have a DeviantArt account, whichever of the two.
Of what I've done.
I refuse to go on DeviantArt, so go find it.
In calls.
Yeah, it's like the times I did create an account on there just because I was... like just to more so just see what it was about and things. And then but how I very, very first came across it was, yeah, seeing haters of mine posting stuff. There's the one guy that's like a Just a Robot fan, and he just got like this weird stalkerish fetish thing for me and stuff. But yeah, he was like posting like my thumbnails, like he was posting what else, like clips of me and my, or not clips, but like screenshots of me and my videos. I just, yeah, Just the Robot and his fans, especially his fans, they are some weird individuals. That's why I like to any and everybody out there that hasn't really gotten a chance to deal with him and his fans, I definitely would recommend, you know, you just be careful. That's all I gotta say about
We're not
that.
recorded.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
then-
I wouldn't see the point of recording this call.
It's just I'm the liar when it comes to he said, she said, and that's how it happens.
Right. I see. And like I know like another thing that was brought up is, I guess,
You see, Jar should stop being a pussy and going on these small streamer streams and come on to like something that is bigger. You know, he should go back on Chud Logic. You know what? No.
Remember Jar doing an Autism Master racing car
No.
video.
What he should do is go on Queeman. I would kill for a Queeman Just a Robot interview. That'd be great content.
the timeline of how it went. You remember your Jaden Animations video? It was, I guess, I was only sent a clip of it, but it was about you talking about, like, if people don't want to make Jaden, like, if she doesn't want porn made of her character, then you shouldn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
That clip was sent to me, and apparently the timeline of that was, like, this is how it was framed to me, so I'm asking you. Apparently you made that video after the whole Jaden Animation NSFW thing happened? Would that be accurate? Okay.
Yeah, years later, I changed my mind on that. I never sent that picture out, and it's not even then.
Well, that clip also has additional context where Jar turns around and says, I never, I only requested nude artwork once, or like pornographic, not safe for work artwork once or twice in my life, which isn't true. His video with over 200,000 views has a section where he talks about how he wants people to draw gay pornography of him in general. And then also, from what Lyos stated, Jar's entire Twitter page, if you scroll all the way back, was constantly asking for porn of him. So that's a lie.
And I don't think that picture
weird.
is that. And
That is weird. So yeah, and I know people are gonna probably be like, bro, like you were beefing with him at the time when he was making those tweets. I wasn't going to his Twitter account. That's the thing. Like, when I say I was doing any and everything's in my power to avoid him, his fans, his whoever, anybody that had any sort of connection with Just a Robot, I was trying to avoid them at all costs. So that's why I'm like, yeah, he had content creating friends. He had like a bunch of people in his circle. Did any and everything's in my power to not see nothing, no tweets, no social media posts on any other platforms, no videos. I didn't want to see nothing of those guys. If it was like long before he got into it with me, I'm like, man, that is weird. But anyways.
SFW, I mean, I was always planning to talk about the Jaden porn thing eventually, because I'm going to be honest here, you can come across it just by accident if you just search up Google Jaden Animations on Google Images. So I think I was originally planning to use that as a thumbnail. I just didn't get to that video for like years. And
you were going to use that Jaden drawing that the miner made as a thumbnail art? What is wrong with you?
By the time I did, I completely forgot that was drawn for me.
Right. Okay. Because I guess like there's also a second thing in that clip that was a little interesting. I know like in your video you say something like you say something along the lines that the manga common art and the Jaden animation things was like the only thing like either NSFW/porn thing that you requested.
Ooh, okay, Ace. Okay. Okay. This is a question I was not expecting to be brought up.
As far as I remember, yes.
Yeah, I think in that same
Oh my god, as far as I remember, Jar. The Daft Peta video is not that old. The Jaden animations.
When he says things like that, I think he doesn't want to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I remember." So he was like, "Oh, it somewhat strikes my memory. Oh, it's a little foggy, but I can somewhat see." It's like, bro, you either remember or you don't. Just but it's like you remember, so stop trying to act like you don't. But anyway,
the porn video is not that old. Your Twitter account still has active tweets asking for it. Come on. Are we really going to cope with, I just remember it this way? Come on. These people are weird about Jaden. There's something about like the animation or the art community that has a weird hyperfixation on Jaden animations. Huh. Okay. That's cool. Someone just invited me to hatchet throwing and beer. Based.
clip. You say something like that if you want.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like, the Jaden animation stuff, I was like, I didn't start hearing about that until like now with all these things going on. But yeah, even that's something that I could say where it's like just a robot has to have like some like weird thing about them, whoever they are. But I'm like, fam, if they don't want nothing to do with you, leave them alone. Like, I don't get why that has to be such a difficult thing for him and his fans to do. But anyway,
I make porn of my character. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but I'm not gonna like go up to someone in DMs and be like, "Hey, please make porn of me." Like, if you want to make porn of me, go ahead. I don't care.
But the way that you framed it was that you've only asked for two times. You've asked for not safe for work artwork, which was the manga common stuff, and then also the artwork involving Jaded Animations. That's a lie.
Huh.
Now you're framing it for asking for pornographic artwork to be made in general, which is what you stated. Well, I never asked people in DMs other than 2 times. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
I see. All right, hold on one moment, because that was also something.
It's either a lie or you are so retarded that you couldn't like position your argument properly.
Screenshot too. I guess it would count as a contradiction to the word that you said, but I don't know. This one is what I was saying. Is what I'm referring to.
About when something retold, always am wrong, but like I don't know. From Remember the Dirge, just covering his ass. He is covering his ass. It's total bullshit.
Because apparently you said this on Twitter. Do you have to remember the context of that or no?
It was, yeah, I've seen it. It's me saying, like, I think in the clip I say things like, your dick is slandering me or something, and there's like a bunch of guys around me.
What the fuck are you talking
yeah.
about? That's the artwork you got excited for?
It's hard to remember because exactly what it was, because well, there's nothing there.
Why does it have to be on my birthday? Why out of all days, man? And that was just because I started beefing with them in 2016. So yeah, that's but just why does the tweet got to be on my birthday, man? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, can somebody redo this video? But it says like August. Like, we're not even in August. I'm like, I just don't even want it to even take place in my birthday month. Like, could they like Photoshop it to where it says like June or September? Nah, I don't even near like a month that's like far away, like January or December, one of them 2 months, but not on my birthday, man. Nah, it's like that's just I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm like, you do that on any other. You know, it'd be crazy because he did say he was gonna come back. Imagine he comes back on my birthday. I feel like that'd just be a birthday treat just to have something to laugh at this point. Because I'm like, whatever the video is, I know it's just gonna be some old silly video. But anyways,
in that screenshot, kind of weird that people look through my Twitter.
Like, unless he has a video where he's exposing me for being a Caucasian male this whole time. I mean, it has to be a video where I'm like, dang, I didn't even know I was Caucasian, but I'm like, man, like, no, he exposed me for who I really am. Like, it's a video where I'm like, I'm gonna have to like just wipe everything away and just start like bowing down. And I'm like, that honestly, I have to say that'll probably be his best bet. You know, next video to make on me, I'm like, expose me for being a whole white man, because I'm like, I possibly don't know what he could say or do. But anyways.
Back.
Jar, you can't ever say that it's weird that somebody looked that far back on your Twitter account when you lie on a video. You also
like him and his. No, the funny thing is that he says that, right? He literally did the same thing to me. He started going. So when me and Just a Robot was like actively beefing, there was a time where he made a video on me where he went back to a video that I uploaded while I was in high school. Now I think everybody could say like, yeah, your first few videos that you upload where you're talking or whatever, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be kind of hard to watch. So I did some video where I was talking on how I had beat the video game Halo 4. And yeah, he went back and he talked out that video, and I wasn't even beefing with him at the time. Like, it was like 2016, 4 years later when I had started going at it with him and things. So yeah, it was weird. But I'm like, fam, you literally did the same thing. So anyway,
the Tower of Babel on everything anyone's ever done in the art commentary community. According to you, you are the Batman of ACC.
Yeah.
You can't complain if somebody looks that far back. You can't do it, Jar. You can't. That's where Ace should have pressed and be like, what do you mean that's weird? You literally told a groomer in a call, unironically, that you have the Tower of Babel on everybody in art commentary.
Okay, because
And I'm gonna be honest here, you have to be a good sport when stuff like that happens. You can't just be like, no, please don't do this. Like I guess.
Yes, you can. You can be like, bro, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
When Beckett sends me artwork that his community makes of me, I tell Beckett, go away. I don't like this. Like, I tell Beckett that. You put it, you stomp it out.
Yes, I could have ignored it as well, but you know, eventually, no matter who you are on the internet, eventually you're gonna have gay porn drawn of you, depending on how big you get. So I was like, yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow, that is weird.
It's just something I have to accept.
That's weird.
Jar just has to accept that gay porn will be made. It's just a normal thing that happens, apparently.
About time something like this happened.
Okay. I mean, okay, I get like that perspective. I guess like it would just be like
I don't get that perspective. I think that's insanity.
a clip of you saying like in your own video you say like these are like the only two instances I've either asked or requested it, and I guess in your video it would technically count as a contradiction if you said if you want to make gay porn of my character, go for it. But
well, yeah, I mean, if you want to make porn of my character, go for it, but I'm not going to say make porn of my character. There's like a difference. Like,
there's not a difference. You're telling people to draw not safe for work artwork.
It's like just because you word it differently, I swear, man. Yeah, his just the robot's thought process. It's honestly making me lightheaded. Like I feel like passing out right now. I'm like I don't feel like. I gotta like check and see like if I'm okay, because I don't like I'm checking to see if my hands is shaking, because I'm like, man, it's just watching his videos and then trying to understand his thought process. It's kind of like a flashbang just goes off in your brain almost, and you're kind of just like, all right, so like I'm disoriented, like I just got like a silence flashbang, like what's going on right now. I'm like, I really wish like Men in Black was actual real, like that was a real thing. I definitely would have. I don't care how much money it would cost to get one of those like sticks with the flashlight and just just flash me real quick and just make me forget all this stuff. But man, I would pay hard cash. I'm like, just let me know like the moments before I came across just a robot. All right, put me back in that time frame. But anyway,
okay with that, and you basically signaled that to your audience to do it. That is you asking people to do it.
I think it's a retarded analogy, but think of it like a washed car.
Oh God, here we go.
If you want to go up to my car and wash it and clean it for me, awesome. I'm happy if you did that, or I don't mind. But if I like told you, hey, can you wash your car for me? That's a request.
Right. So you're more saying the difference is these are things you've generally requested versus what you're giving consent to, right?
Right.
Okay. I guess yeah, I can see it from that angle.
Yeah, no. Christ, that would have been a lot more fucking. I would have been a lot more.
Or you could just go if you don't want nobody, because if I go outside and see some random person washing my car, I'm like, what are you doing? I like, you don't know, just stop. I'm like, no, I don't need you to wash my car. But yeah, it's like, I guess if my car is really dirty, I'm like, oh, cool, thanks, I guess. But if I don't want somebody to wash my car, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I can't tell them no. No, I'm going to tell them no. I'm like, get away from my car. I'm like, this ain't no car wash. I'm like, not no brown bear. I'm like, step away from the vehicle. I'm like, no, get out of here.
Hard in this interview.
Right. And I guess like, let's see, because there's a couple other things with the video. Personally, when I watched it, right, it kind of felt like there were some moments that it felt like you were blaming other things than, taking accountability. For example, right, there's a moment in the video that you even say that Himpleton's cancellation put a significant amount more attention onto your cancellation, as if it was...
I forgot that he blamed the Himpleton cancellation. Himpleton, the Himpleton curse, the commentary jonkler. His curse took out just the robot.
Kind of like his fault for why you're getting canceled, or at least he was like a big part of it.
Let me breathe for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that statement was factually true. I said him getting canceled caused my drama to blow up even more.
Did he say, let me breathe for a second? I'm like, breathe. You're on planet Earth. There ain't nothing but oxygen surrounding you. I'm like, I don't know. Unless you got asthma, then, yeah, get your inhaler on. But I'm saying, it's like, bro, then just breathe. Like, what do you hold your... That's crazy. No, imagine, like, argue with him, and then you just hear a loud bang, and it's like, what was that? Then his girlfriend's like, yeah, I'm sorry. That he just passed out because he holds his breath for some reason, and he says it builds up his lung capacity. He played a lot of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas as a kid. I'm like, he's crazy. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm like, I played the same game too. I ain't gonna hold my breath, pass out, and bang my head on the desk over it. But anyways,
no, it didn't. It didn't. Here's why. The only thing about you involving that drama was because Himpleton said he was running a gay op on you, which everyone said was bad, and that you shouldn't be talking to Himpleton, that Himpleton should not be coaching you in calls. That is the extent of it. Your actions, your words are what made it worse. It wasn't Himpleton being canceled.
I wasn't blaming anything on him. I just said something that is absolutely true. Him getting canceled did make my drama blow up more. Now,
no, it did not. It was a small community laugh at a retard moment. It didn't blow up your drama more.
it's like only added like maybe 5% of it, but it's not like, I really don't know how I came across as putting all the blame on Himpleton.
Well, not all on Himpleton. I feel like there's a couple examples I would say. Like Himpleton's just one of them. Another one I would say is...
Want to pay Jar for the Tower of Babel?
I'm not actually
I imagine it to be the ACC Diddy list. If his prices is high, get other channels, get all their funds to get the doc.
I am not actually going to pay Just a Robot for the Tower of Babel folder.
Seems like even...
It would be funny. I think it would be hilarious to have to have the Tower of Babel, but there's no way I'm gonna pay Jar for that.
Blame the reason why you uploaded your video just because Kubo uploaded your early video.
What's the firecracker effect? I don't know. It's just this fucking...
It's Ace's mic.
Like early version first, a day before that you were planning to upload it anyways. And
yeah, in the morning, but the thing is, like, I was waiting for my roommate to come home to do extra research, reach out to Birdie, all this stuff.
Why do you have to...
Yeah.
Bro, this is the argument that everyone's still having, okay? This is the obfuscation bullshit. Well, Kumo uploaded the YouTube video before I was able to, so I panicked uploading my video. So what? How does that change anything? Even before hindsight, that doesn't change the action that was made. You're the retard that didn't actually do the research necessary. You're the retard that panicked and uploaded because Kumo ripped your rough draft script. Stop obfuscating.
And even then, I've never, ever had a video of mine leaked out early, especially, let alone one with such a sensitive topic where I'm going against the grain. So I did panic upload it with what...
And I still don't buy that shit. I don't. I think it's pathetic that you even did that in the first place.
I have. But I'm going to be honest here. Let's just say, for all I know, I could have reached out to Birdie, and I could have made an even worse video, for all I know. I just never had someone leak out a video of mine early because...
I could have had a worse video if I reached out to Birdie. Well, yeah, if you bought everything that Birdie was saying, yeah, that video would be a complete nightmare. After covering the Birdie stuff as extensively as I have, if Jar, Jar's right there. If Jar took Birdie at their word, that video would have been infinitely worse. But Jar's like making it a victim thing. He's like, well, I uploaded the video early. You know, I could have made a worse video if Kumo didn't do that. You know, it's not a defense, Jar. You're still an idiot for buying into what City Bear told you. You're still an idiot for panic uploading.
Because...
I mean, realistically, what I would have thought of it happened on that day, to be honest, you probably would have got nothing from Birdie. Birdie's been ignoring every commentator. So it kind of just makes you wonder if the results would have changed that.
I wish total Birdie death. All right? Total
Birdie destruction. I feel no sympathy for Birdie. Okay? Total Birdie death.
That much.
Was that the roommate, the City Bear's roommate?
That is true, but then there's also my roommate coming home and looking over the doc with him and also doing extra research, looking over a whole bunch of videos on the topic. You see, I'm dyslexic, so
Oh my god, he's still going the dyslexic angle. Do you ever deviate from, like, the most obvious retarded fucking points, Jar? Do you ever do that? Do you ever just stop saying the same fucking shit that you always say? I'm dyslexic. I didn't actually read it right because I'm dyslexic. Just stop.
It's like, bro, gonna be at his wedding day. They like, pastor's gonna be all like, oh, it's like, do you take whoever the woman is as your wife? And then he was like, oh, well, I'm dyslexic, so do I? And it's like, oh, okay, you could just say yes, like, or whatever you, if that's what you feel comfortable saying, then it's like, all right, man. It's like, you know what, man, wife, kiss the bride. I'm leaving. I'm going home. Forget this mess, man.
Stop! You shouldn't be doing these kinds of videos then. Oh my god, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah. I do my research in a very different way from most people because of how bad my dyslexia is. And I was waiting for my roommate to come home. He was on a business trip.
Okay, if you had to wait... Again, I can't believe I'm repeating myself here and that he is still doing this fucking argument. It doesn't matter that you were waiting for the roommate. You could have put out a statement saying, Kumo uploaded a rough draft of my video. I'm still ongoing. It has been recorded, but there were going to be changes added to it. Please be patient. Do not take this as the actual video that I'm making. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to upload the actual video. Like...
Had a really bad time, and then I got so shocked by Kumo leaking out that video.
Oh my god, he got scared of Kumo uploading his video early.
It's so pathetic.
But who knows? I might have told for all I know, I might have told my roommate, hey, I think my video looks good enough. I don't want to do any further research. I'm just going to upload it as is because I understand the video looks like it's fully edited.
Why are we playing like whataboutism? Well, I could have done it this way, or I could have done it that way, or I could have felt this way, or I could have went that way. Why? Why are we talking about the situation that happened?
But if you've seen the old version of my Cindy video, the one where I was bashing her, I don't know if you came across that. That was also pretty much fully edited, and I reused a lot of it for the current draft I had. I ended up uploading. Realistically speaking, I think I could have just changed 10% of my Cindy video to make it completely different.
No, I don't think 10% change was enough for people to buy into it. You just had to disavow City Bear. You just had to shit on City Bear. It's super easy.
Jar thinks he's Batman. At best, he is Kite Man.
He is Kite Man. He is Kite Man.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
No, Ace, not I guess. Even if he changed the video 10%, it would still be a terrible video.
Todd Batman is Jar.
It's like, what is he going to change? What the because it's like my thing is this. All right, so from what I heard, yeah, the original video was of him going off on Cinnabare for what she did. And then what, he read like 2 pages, and then after that he was all like, oh, okay, I guess I have like all the information I needed. And so it's like, yeah, but my thing is this. I felt like it would have been a situation, even though I've never sat down and watched that show, but I know people always use that as a meme, where it was the Amazon Prime show, The Boys, where it's like Homelander, I think that's the guy's name, where he's like standing amongst a crowd and they start clapping for him and stuff. That's most likely how it would have went. You know, you would have thought like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be in some sort of trouble. And then people would have liked and praised the video, like, oh, you went against Cinnabare, cool, good for you and things. But you wanted it to be a defend video because you had some weird conversations with her in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's like, bro, you know that the thing is this, or you shouldn't even have done the video in the first place. There's so many other different videos you could have did. Why do that? Like, it's something where, the thing is this. It ain't Kumo's fault. It ain't your roommate's fault. It ain't your girlfriend's fault. It's not anybody else's fault, all right? This was on you. The thing is this. You have to look at it. It's like, you are the main event, okay? You're the owner of your channel. It's not up to your roommate. It's not up to Kumo. It's not up to anybody else. You are the person behind the Just a Robot channel. There is nobody, absolutely nobody to blame, okay, on this situation besides you. So, and yeah, the crazy thing is, it's just like this domino effect. Like, the thing is this, I think it was just meant for Just a Robot to get canceled about something. If it wasn't going to be this, it was going to be something else, all right? So, anyways.
It would still be a terrible video.
Personally, I just feel like
he literally can't admit that he was wrong about the City Bear stuff.
Yeah,
he can't do it.
That's
not much would have changed, if I'm gonna be like blatantly honest. Just because, like, it was literally gonna be a day before. Like, it was a day before it was uploaded. I know you said you're gonna do more research into it, but it's like, I guess I would just ask why pass the early version around.
Well, plan to upload is always a maybe, but I want to get others' thoughts on it, bounce ideas off of people. I've been doing this with multiple other videos. I've had.
Why would you send it to a group of people that are cool with somebody who hates your guts? Why would you do that then? Why aren't you sending it to people that you trust?
Many people check over my videos. Like, I've done this with Lio, I've done this with Peaches, I've done this with my roommate especially, because let's be honest here, I'm not the most socially aware person, so sometimes it's good to get...
I'm not the most socially aware person, so
like, but you decide to do videos where you are not going to have no other choice besides being socially aware of situations, so... Yeah, that's why it's like, I think why a lot of the stuff he gets called out for, it's just he tries to find an argument for it because he knows, I guess, like the business with his mindset. He knows that he's not fully right up there, so he can't, I guess, apologize for it because it's just, I don't even think it's something where he can't apologize, like, where he just, it's like he knows that his mind is messed up. And he's trying to do any and everything in his power to make people accept his mind for what it is. And it's like, no, what you need to do is take your mind, put it right back in the box that it came from, ship it back, okay? See if you could get your money back. Your mind is not right, all right? What you need to do is roundhouse whoever it was that was behind your mind. And maybe the people are gonna be like, now you're like, oh, the TMossBoss just told me to roundhouse my parents. I'm like, if that's what you need to do, be my guest, all right? But at some point in time, something went wrong with your mind, all right? So
a committee of people to tell me if my video is good.
Feedback from others, and
I mean, I guess just to not to mean like to cut you off or anything, but have you ever had Romantic Goblin like revise your videos before this?
Could you repeat that?
Have you ever had Romantic Goblin revise your videos before this?
Nope. It's just she was connected
Then why were you sending it to her?
to the situation so much that I thought she knew what was going on because according to her and Kumo, they talked with Cine and she was completely honest with them and all this other stuff. This was the first time.
Which is, you're retarded for listening to sub-retard shitters talking to a groomer about their drama and buying what they're saying. You don't know Romantic Goblin. Kumo hates you. Why would you do this?
First time I ever asked Goblin to look over something for me. This was actually the first time I ever interacted with her. I didn't think she would send it to Kumo after I explicitly told her, don't show it to anyone.
Wait.
But she's a stranger, you fucking retard.
So this was even, like you said, this was your first time.
She gave it to Jibs. Jibs gave it to Kumo. I think that's what happened. But why would he even trust Romantic Goblin in the first place?
You've been interacting with Goblin, right?
Yep.
Okay. I know sometimes you lack social awareness, but what would make you like have so much trust in the Goblin not to send it?
Oh my god, thank you, Ace. You're asking a real question. Thank god. All right, chat. Chat, we have to vote. Does Jar say that he's just retarded? Or does he actually own up to the fact that he doesn't understand literally anything about humanity?
Second
Like he's like
option.
an actual fucking android. Which one is it, chat? Which one is it?
I mean, you're like a 200K figure, right? Like, if anything,
I know. It's just, I've never had that happen before. This was the first time something like this has ever happened.
Weaponized incompetence.
I guess I just got lucky up to this point. The only other problems I've ever had was people leaking that I was in a group, and that's it.
you know what? All right. How about did you have Rololin at least revise it or no?
Who?
Rololin.
Rololin.
Around like like your Cinebear video. Did you have Rololin ever go look through it?
I apologize. I don't think I know who that is.
No. Well, yeah, you know who it is. He is. We talked about him yesterday as well. He was. He's literally like the guy that was talking to you a little bit.
Rel?
Yeah. Oh, you know him as Rel. Okay. Yeah. His full name is Rololin on YouTube.
No, I didn't. At that point, I didn't want anyone to check over my responses or anything. The only two people I showed it to was my girlfriend and roommate, and one other YouTuber who I would prefer to keep anonymous, but he's someone who's known me for many years.
Okay, so I'm just kind of confused because like obviously you have like people that are like your friends that you can trust on the platform, right? It's like I just don't know why you would revise it with a stranger. I mean, I don't know. I kind of get confused with that decision a little bit.
I understand it was mostly because she was so connected to the situation. And I also asked Akumu and Miss Anthroponi, as I proved in my video. It was a very stupid decision I made.
And then you also threw Akumu under the bus. You attempted to use Akumo to build credibility. Are you kidding?
Trusting her with that information.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like drill into it too much because obviously you understand, but
yeah, I'm just after this, literally one of the top 5 videos I didn't want to get leaked out before it was ready, got leaked out. So I'm just not going to have people look over videos unless I know them IRL.
Akumu didn't even know Jar used their logs in the video. Oh, that makes it even worse. Oh, I had no idea about that logger.
At this point.
I mean, that's probably going to be the smarter move, to be honest. At least if you literally like interacted with them for like over a year, maybe. But like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I get it. I guess.
Can you give me an example of a video getting leaked out aside from mine?
A video getting leaked out, like in general?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Like aside from mine.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Not a lot of people make the decision to give their response videos or their, covering like a very controversial topics to complete strangers to review.
Oh, Ace, you just had to kill him on that one.
So normally it doesn't get leaked out per se. I'm trying to think of like one where it happens, but usually people don't make that decision.
I understand. It was just because she was close to the situation, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done this before me. It just didn't happen.
I mean, I get, okay.
They probably, if anything, just said like, oh yeah, I'm working on the video and told them about the video. So at least then it could have happened where it's like, okay, you send out the video, they send it out to Kumo, and then, yeah, Kumo's just like, oh, all he would be able to say is that, oh, just the robot is working on the video about Cinebear. I still feel like that it would have went down in the same way. I think that he overall, the second version of that video, the one that he did end up uploading, regardless, I think we still would have seen that video. I don't think he would have done nothing where he was editing it or yeah, he did say that he only would have changed 10%. So like I said, like him being canceled, him going through all this crap, it was bound to happen. All right. It might have not been in October, it'd been in November or December or even January last month. It happened at some point in time whenever he would have finished that video. But anyways,
I'm really not trying to like hammer in, but like I get that like, okay, Goblin was involved in the situation. Yes, 100% get that. But like, wouldn't you have at least known that like, Kubo and like, their whole like group at least dislike you? I mean, you always talk about like how the art community hates you. So it's just
the Kumo and Goblin are more anti-art CC, to be fair.
But you're also hated by the anti-art CC people. You know this. You know Kumo hates your guts.
He ain't liked by nobody.
Why would you trust that, you fucking idiot? Why?
But even sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, they're more anti-art CC to be fair. But I didn't want to interact. I didn't show it to Kumo because like I didn't know what he would do because Kumo can be a bit unpredictable, and I didn't think Goblin would send it to Kumo. I didn't think
You knew that Kumo and Goblin were working together. Of course Goblin's gonna show it to people. Oh my god.
that would happen, and I didn't think even if he did get it, he would upload it so soon. And it just threw me for a loop because I was surprised. I was like, Kumo, you're already kind of on the losing side here. Probably not the best idea to make more problems for yourself, but
Dude, he's literally trying to deflect onto Kumo now. He's like, well, Kumo made a lot of bad decisions. He's not really on a good side right now. Bro.
It's like trying to use that subscriber stuff against him. I've said it before. I'm like, I am the reason why Just a Robot, he's so big on subscribers, and I guess the amount of backlash that a person would face after they make a video. Cause yeah, let's say Kumo uploads that video and people start going off on Kumo about him uploading the video. Yeah, Just a Robot, oh, he had a field day with that. He was like, oh, look at my however many fans at the time, because I think Just a Robot, his channel was dying off long before he did this Cinnabare video. I think because even I remember when he made his last video about me, nobody didn't even like, it was one of those things where like people wasn't even really, it was just the same activities that I would always get from his fans, like especially because yeah, after 2020 his fans just they stopped. They was all like, yeah, it's like they seen that I was getting involved with much more bigger communities than them, so I think yeah, it's a numbers game with Just a Robot, and that's how it's been for a fat minute now, but like I said, I do take the blame for that. I apologize to those out there that's fallen victim to Just a Robot trying to intimidate people and things with his subscribers. But anyways,
Homie, this is your actions. This is not Kumo's fault. This is your fault for doing these things. Stop trying to use Kumo as a scapegoat. I hate Kumo, but stop using him as a fucking scapegoat.
I think he saw me as a way to get out of the situation, but I don't know. I don't know what's in the guy's heart. This is just me guessing, and right now I'm autistically rambling, so I'm going to stop.
You're not autistically rambling. What you're trying to do is throw Kumo under the bus and say, well, it's Kumo's fault that all this happened.
I mean, I think it's very clear Kumo does not like you by any constellation of the imagination.
That's understatement of the decade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very much of an understatement. But
I may not be the most socially aware person, but I don't think people who call me a rapist are fans of me.
Or a bigoted racist.
Oh, right there. Again, he's got to bring up the victim card mentality. Kumo said I was a rapist. Yes, Jar, that was a bad thing that happened. But we need to focus on the fact that you were the idiot that uploaded the video in a panic.
He called you a lot of things. Yeah, he called you a lot.
Yeah, he also did say at one point that he saw Kumo winning debates, so he felt comfortable about the City Bear stuff. So now it went from I'm pro Kumo and all these cool things he was doing to Kumo's a piece of shit, which to be fair, Kumo did call Jar a rapist, and he can feel that way, but he's kind of forgetting all the nice shit he said.
A lot of things. But let me think. I guess like another thing where it kind of felt like a little bit like of an excuse.
What debates did he win? I have no fucking idea. Against tards on Twitter?
In my opinion, which I know you're probably going to say it's because you're dyslexic, but it's like it kind of felt like you were even like blaming the size of the document for it being like too long of why you didn't like go over all of it, or at least
which is what he did. He showed the document pages and was literally really trying to emphasize that in the videos. He was.
I understand. I do still stand behind what I said. I do think the shorter document was a lot better. Like the first document I was like looking over and I was like, wow, this is all over the place. But I will admit, absolutely, I should have done better research.
Oh my god.
Wow. Is on me.
All right. I mean, fair enough.
But the problem is that even with the better research and even with the information that you had in front of you with the third document that you're saying, well, I would have had time to look at this other document, maybe change my mind. Dude, you still in your response video said that Cinny's not a pedophile. Like, I'm going to be honest. Cinny is. Cinny as a, in your own words, a multiple repeat offender of sending rape pornography and rape fetish artwork to children to get them comfortable enough to engage with the rape fetish artwork. Jar.
Makes you wonder, because, like, so from what I heard, she deleted all her videos, all right? Like, so I guess if you go to her channel, she don't have no videos up. Don't know what the extent is on that situation. Don't know what's going on. But it'd be crazy if, like, let's say, like, law enforcement did see like that video, or just overall see like her behavior, see the things that she was doing. Imagine if she's in some sort of trouble and she thought like, oh, maybe if I delete my videos or whatever, then I won't get, because I find that odd. That like you just look up one day and then just all her stuff is gone. So I guess because like, no, it's like she apologized for it, then she like slapped down an Uno reverse card and took back her apology and then tried to defend herself. But it's still though, it's like you have to understand that what you did, that's not normal behavior, you know, especially for no adult. It's like nobody should be doing that, but an adult should not be asking for that type of stuff for nobody, whether it's an adult or a minor. That's just a weird thing to it's something where I'm like, hey, whatever you into, that's something that you're gonna have to live with at the end of the day. When you get other people involved, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, look, bro, don't be surprised. It's something, even if it is, just you on your own, don't be surprised if one day everything just comes crashing and crumbling around you and stuff. So yeah, it's like there's no proper way of defending her situation. It's like, even if you try your hardest to defend her situation, still you gotta look at it as like, okay, you did something that will land you in prison. You did something where a lot of people are gonna be talking about it, and for some odd reason, just a robot thought, oh, I could be her lawyer and help her out. No, there is literally nothing that you can do. This person is guilty. I'm like, do I have like something I'm gonna use my ashwagandha gummies as a gavel, okay? All right, case dismissed. Like, nah, bro, you're done for. Like, you can't come back from that. I'd sentence you to, I don't know, being just a robot's friend or something. But anyways,
the second document was enough for that. You didn't need the third document for that.
And I guess like
and yeah, he's like, yeah, I fucked up, but you can make an argument that City Bear is a groomer / pedophile. That's crazy.
Just remembering off the top of my head, there's also like a thing around that you said at the end of the video, right?
They're like text to speech. Somebody there's like, no, Kai Reyes. Yeah, I'm like Ka Reyes. Okay, my fault. And I was like, but nah. Anyways, nah. It's up where it's like he could just like not copy. Well, yeah, I guess he could like copy and paste it if it's something where you can copy and paste. And I'm pretty sure there are some like programs out there where you could just paste it in the program and then it just reads it out to you, and then you just gotta copy and paste, select all, copy, paste, and things. But anyways,
I was kind of like confused with it. You said something along the lines of, like, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember it 100%. Something along the lines of, I would love to like go and debunk every single little thing, but I feel like if I made this video any longer, no one would watch it. Something along those lines. Do you remember that?
I said I wanted to debunk more claims about me, but if I made this video longer, people won't watch it because, in my humble experience, when response videos are too long, people tend to not watch them. And maybe not the smartest thing to say, but I felt like if I went into more detail or talked about things for longer.
But yet he still got a 2-hour video about me where it's just him pretty much rambling about stuff that he don't like about me and stuff. So yeah, but the thing is, well, I guess like, yeah, more so his fans. So no, I guess he's partially right. His fans watched it, but as far as anybody else outside of like your fans, yeah, ain't nobody looking for no 2-hour video about me, TMossBoss. Like, ain't nobody done. The thing is this, I say this in a like non-negative way. Like I guess like it's just more so where I'm like, I do care about myself, but at the same time, I'm not that important to where a 2-hour video needs to be watched about me. Like, if you sat down and watched a 2-hour hate video about me, I get if you're seeing it just because you want to see what's being said, but you're not going to carry on that hatred after watching that video. You're just curious to see. But like, if you sat down and you watched that video and you're like, yeah, I hate TMossBoss now, you're just as weird than just a robot. It's one of those things where I'm like, you need to actually sit down and understand and learn about the person, have a conversation with them where it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, but he can't say that, no, nobody ain't going. Your fans watched it, but at the same time, I'm like, I can partially agree with what he's saying, because yeah, it's like, but ain't nobody watching no 2-hour long TMossBoss video. So
like, sometimes saying less is
What did you want to argue, Jar? What did you want to argue?
more. Because I mean, like, look at what I'm in right now, just with what I've said. So many questions. If it was longer, it would have been even more questions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it was longer, definitely more people would have watched the full thing. 100%. I feel like just because, like, with what I even seen with like your video on Cine,
Like, I know I would have watched it.
that was nearly like what, like an hour and 40-ish minutes. Like,
Yeah, and
and people watched the whole thing of that. And it was
yeah,
like
because it
40
was.
minutes.
Yeah, it was.
You know what? He's got no response to that. He's like, you made a whole hour and 40-minute video on City Bear, and people watched it all the way through and criticized the video. And Ace is like, well, you said that you wanted to debunk more and make the video longer, and your cope was, oh, well, nobody would watch my video. Everyone watched the video.
I mean, it is a different ballpark. That Cine video was much more heavily edited. I mean, I didn't want to heavily edit my response video because I thought that would make people think I was having fun with it, and that.
Are you retarded? If you make a well-crafted response video with receipts, proof that these claims are false, people are more inclined to pay attention to that. That is the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
Could have reflected poorly on me.
It's like, or he could just did an apology video. That's the thing that just, it confuses the life out of me. You realize you did wrong, but yet you want to double down on it. You pretty much pulled a page out of Cinnabear's book, and you doubled down on all the stuff that you're, being called out for, where it's like you didn't even properly apologize for it. It's like, oh, I apologize, but. And then, that's what Cinnabear, I guess the only difference is that she apologized, but she slapped down the Uno reverse card, but she was like, but I didn't even see her, like, this secondary video she did where she, I guess, like, it was a follow-up video after she did her apology. But I guess, like, according to what people said, that she pretty much took away her apology and was trying to defend her actions. And I'm like, there ain't no defending that. It's like, there's just no possible way you could defend yourself on what you did. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you just had to heavily edit it. I mean, there probably could have been a couple more things to respond to, because I know, like, some things were still asked, which I did kind of ask a little bit before, but it's just some of the things that you said in that interview. Like, for example, like, I think we definitely talked about this one, but it was like, even like the 16-year-old thing with the phrasing of that, I feel like it would have been helpful to you to, frame that a bit better, frame your understanding, like, your thought process a bit better in the video about that, because obviously a lot of people got the impression of, oh, if this guy sees a 16-year-old, he's trying to get out of there because he can't trust himself, which obviously...
Oh, yes, I forgot he said that. He's like, oh, I see a 16-year-old at the pool. I'm going to run away.
That was just
I forgot
weird.
He said that. Holy shit, Ace, you bringing that up is Kino.
We explained, and that's not what you meant.
Yeah, I didn't want, like, single guy in a pool. Obviously, I didn't know her age, but when I was by myself and that family showed up, I was like, I was almost done anyway, so I was like, I kind of want to get out of here. Plus, I won't lie, this was when I used to go on high.
That's not what you said.
Yeah.
That's not. Whoa, wait a minute. That's not what you said, Jar.
Yeah.
What you said was, if I'm in a pool and I see a 16-year-old in a bikini, I need to get out of there. I need to run away. Jar, that's not what you said. It's not a family thing. Wait a minute.
Single guy in a pool. Obviously,
in the video about that, because obviously a lot of people got the impression of, oh, if this guy sees a 16-year-old, he's trying to get out of there because he can't trust himself, which obviously we explained, and that's not what you meant.
Yeah, I didn't want, like, single guy in a pool. Obviously, I didn't.
So what is with the single guy in the pool thing?
Know her age, but when I was by myself and that family showed up, I was like, I was almost done anyway, so I was like, I kind of want to get out of here. Plus, I won't lie, this was when I used to go on high swims. That's when you smoke weed and swim, and weed does make you very paranoid.
It makes, but does it? I ain't never seen where weed makes you into a pedophile. I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't need to do drugs, you don't need to drink, you don't need to do nothing. I'm like, what you need to do is be locked up somewhere and just you just sit there, you reflect. Okay, you just sit there, you think about life, you reflect, do all that stuff. Fam, that's something where I'm like, there's people that I know that smoke weed. I got friends that smoke weed. They ain't never had no thought process like you. So that's something where and this is my first time hearing of high swims. I didn't even realize that was a thing. But yeah, that's something where I'm like, nah, bruh, you're just weird. Like, that's just some weird stuff, man. I'm saying it's like people of an older age, I'm saying you go out on a regular, because I'm like, there's been times where it's like I'll go to the mall, or if I'm going to a store, if I'm outside exercising and stuff. Yeah, I'm most likely, because there have been times like where I'll be outside exercising And like there's this like school that I'll go by, and I'm like, yeah, there's like, if there be times where I'm like, you know, school is ending, kids is all over the place and things. The only reason why I don't want to be there is because these kids is getting in my way while I'm exercising. I gotta like at times kind of jog out in the street. I gotta like run through grass, and then that gotta look down, make sure I don't step in no poop and stuff, because it's just like that uncharted territory of grass. That's why I don't want to be around people. But my thing is this: let's say if I'm out somewhere, right? And some like 16-year-old kid, they sit next to me, and they just strike up a conversation. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, you're a 16-year-old kid. I'm like, nah, hold on for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, let me. Oh dang, I can't even get my cross right now. Dang, did I like plug this up, or I think I ain't had my US. I was gonna use my cross. Well, hold on for a second. Yeah, it's like I didn't snatch this out. I'm like looking at them talk about back then got my holy Bible, and I like went and used it as a chair on them and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. There's no reason to do that. It's like, especially if I ain't got no weird mindset, they sit next to me and they strike up a conversation. They're all like, oh, you know, it's like let's say it's like towards the end of the year. They're just like, man, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next week or something. I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, I remember when last. But it's like, see, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, if they sit next to me and they're all like, I'm trying to think of something that's like mad inappropriate. Dang, I can't even think of something that's like, but yeah, let's say like it's like some inappropriate movie is like coming out where it got like some they were like, oh yeah, like another season of Euphoria is coming out. Can't wait to, you know, see Sydney Sweeney and things doing what she usually does. I don't know what she usually does on that show. I haven't sat down, but I know that she's a very revealing person on that show. But I'm like, I just look at them and be like, all right, I guess. Anyways, put my headphones back on, so I ain't gotta be a part of that conversation. I'm like, oh wow, look at the time. Got to But I'm saying, it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, like, just bro, don't do nothing weird. That's it. You can be, the thing is this, you can chill at that pool for as long as you want to. Just don't do nothing weird. That's it. If you know you're going to do something weird, then yeah, bro, go ahead and put yourself in prison. I'm like, just, yeah, walk yourself in the prison, close the door, be all like, I'm giving myself my own sentence. But anyways.
We're blaming it on the weed again. Autistic people need to be banned from smoking weed. Done. Weed is illegal for autistic people from here on out. I am making a decree. No more. If you are autistic, you're not allowed to smoke marijuana anymore, because then you're saying retarded shit. How are you blaming the weed on this?
Yeah, there's like, he keeps self-reporting. Yep.
Right, yeah. I mean,
honestly, I think the reaction to what I said kind of proves my point. Like, if me just saying, hey, that could have happened, and people are reacting like this, then I think I was smart, because I just don't want to be around in a situation like that with someone.
It's the way that you said it that made you sound like a creep. All you had to, you didn't even need to make that analogy in the first place. That's a crazy thing for you to say.
Yeah.
Dressed like that in the water. I mostly just went by myself.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Okay, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying, oh, I don't like, I might have done something because she was dressed like that. No, I just didn't feel comfortable. I got out of the water and I left. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, how do you get uncomfortable?
It's like,
you're in a public pool, bro.
Yeah.
You're just swimming in the pool. Who cares if there's a family there? That's the point that everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, I think what he thinks is that the family, he's just gonna be sitting there, he's gonna like look over it, it's like, who, the dad's gonna be like, hey, what are you looking at? Don't you look at my daughter that way. I can just see some Lord Farquaad guy, just hair flowing through the wind, and he's like, what's going on? I would love to be that dad and just straight call him out, knowing that he's not, like, just knowing that he's weird, and I'm like, hey guys, watch this, I'm just gonna trip this guy out. That would be funny. Just a robot. He seemed like the type of person where it's like, you're gonna be laughing a lot being around him, because he just seems like the type of guy that just be panicking off of nothing. And it's like, bro, relax, calm down. They're not doing nothing to you. Like a kid, I feel like that he'll be like at the mall or something, and a kid like runs out in front of him. He done fell down and he's like trying to fix his glasses, and it's like, bro, relax. Like, you're okay. Yeah, he just seems like somebody where I'm like, man, I just know that I'm going to, I like almost started kind of tearing up laughing, because I'm like, no, it just seems funny. Like, he seems like an over the top panicker. Like, he'll start screaming, get the panic sweats, and it's like, bro, it's 30 degrees outside. How are you sweating? You're not even walking or doing anything. You drove up here. What's wrong with you? Relax, man. Get your asthma inhaler. Calm down. Like, yeah, he just seems like an over the top panicker. And I'm like, yeah, that's something. That's just, that type of entertainment is right up my alley. All right. So yeah, if anybody, I'm saying anybody that got like a video of just a robot just straight panicking, yeah, because even probably with him, with Kumo uploading that video, I could just only imagine he probably did some just off the wall stuff. He sat down, stood up, sat back down again. He's all like, wait a minute, I don't want to do this. Went, looked in the refrigerator. He's looking for stuff that he hasn't had in like 2-3 years or something. Yeah, he just seems like an over the top panicker, and I'm like, I gotta see that. I gotta see either a reenactment of it or something. But anyway,
elaborate on it. Yeah, it makes sense. I think everyone
No, it doesn't.
took it the wrong way because of how you worded it. It just came off weird.
Well, it was also because I was really hated at that time.
Bullshit, George. The way you fucking said it.
Yeah.
So George is trying to say we all purposely and maliciously interpret that incorrectly. On purpose. Bro, what do you... It's the way you said it. It's the way you said it that made all of us go, what the fuck is he talking about?
I mean, that could have been part of it, but I feel like...
His robo-rape sensors are activated. Disavow. Disavow. Disavow.
You're definitely being hated. And there's an increased chance to be like clip chimped or, purposely misunderstood by bad actors. I feel like you should definitely consider a lot more of your wording, 100%.
I mean, I've seen so many videos of men being perceived as predators just by minding their own business and sitting there, so I don't want to be put in a situation.
What?
How is that? Bro, my thing is this. If I'm just sitting and I'm like, let's say if I'm just on my phone scrolling through Spotify, I'm like, usually that's something that I'll find myself doing. Like if I'm like out and about, like waiting in line just on my... If some like To Catch a Predator people came up to me and there's like, you've been caught, I'm like, caught doing what? I'm like, I'm in line at Foot Locker buying shoes. I'm like, that's against the law. I'm like, all right then. I'm like, take me to jail. I'm saying like I have to be like what, the Pablo Escobar of sneakers if it's against the law. But they're like, nope. And it's all like you're a predator. I'm like, I've watched the movie Predator. It's a good movie, by the way, but I'm not. I'm like, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, that's the situation. Whoever that is, it's gonna backfire on them. My thing is this. I'm that type of guy where if I know that somebody's trying to do something to me, I'm gonna have fun with the situation. Now, if they kind of getting a little bit overboard with it, then I'm like, okay, you. Like, bro, get out of here. I'm like, please. But yeah, a situation like that where I'm just minding my own business and somebody's trying to go viral on some To Catch a Predator, but they just going up to random people. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have fun with the situation. But excuse me. Anyways.
What do you mean? Dude, if you're sitting there doing absolutely nothing, if you're at a water park,
yeah,
okay, and you're laying on the bench just sitting there like this, and a family comes and sits down next to you, and there's a teenage girl there, you shouldn't be saying to yourself, I have to leave. I'm terrified of what I'm going to do or what's going to happen to me. What? Why? You're sitting on you're sitting in a chair. You're in a public pool. Who gives a shit? That's why people said it was weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Jar?
Situation like that myself.
Yeah, I'm not saying stay in the pool, Jar. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that.
Nobody's saying stay in the pool, but it's also weird that he has this paranoia that he's gonna be called a pedophile.
Your Honor, the boof and my autism made me look like a creep.
I just can't believe that.
Understand your thought process now. Right, like it's just like I mean I think if you clarified that in your response, like maybe that like could have been like a segment in your response for that, and like the other thing was
that was an important thing that you should have fucking talked about.
Yeah.
And the 14-year-old thing, I think a lot of people were confused that you called it a honeypot situation, which
it's because it was. This was right after Chaos 5T and me started going at it, and like right after it started, I saw that and I said, I know this is someone who doesn't like me using this account. So that's why I immediately blocked, because I was afraid that no matter what I said, it would have been twisted into something bad. So I just immediately blocked that account.
But if you're just
like to know that, because I know he said that he has like a hatred towards 12-year-olds. I'm like, man, he probably would have waited until I had turned into waited until I turned 13, and then that's when he had been trying to beef with me. But to just know that I would have had a chance of just escaping from his behavior if I was 12, I'm like, man. I'm like, dang, it's like, part of me do kind of wish, I'm like, yeah, I wish I was 12, so I wouldn't even have had to have dealt with him and things, but yeah, because he did say that in one of his videos. He said something along the lines, he was all like, 12-year-olds are worse than Nazis. I can't remember what video. I think it was either Chris the Dark's video or another video, but yeah, I remember him saying that, and I'm like, wow, just a robot, man. 12-year-olds are worse than Nazis. I'm like, that is a quote from you. You said that, all right? You said that in 1080p, bruh. Man, if you get a better enough computer or whatever, 4K, But yeah, I'm like, overall, because my stuff stay at 1080p. But I'm just saying, man, I'm like, that's something where it's like, I told people that, and they looked at me like, huh? Like, wait a minute. Like, you sure you heard that right? Like, I know you might have a slight hearing problem, TMossBoss. Like, you listen to your music a little bit too loud, but like, I seen that notification pops up on your phone, like, turn your music down. But overall, it's like, he said that. Like, those were his actual words that came out of his mouth. Yes, people. And it's just, like I said, his thought process is weird, man.
Like, wait, hold on. Okay, wait. If an account reaches out to you and you don't know the age of the person and you talk to them like a normal human being, and then they're like, hey, I'm 14, and there's nothing, and you had no sexualized conversations, no asking, do you want to see my cock or anything like that. If somebody tries to leak that, you just go, dude, I didn't know their age. They told me the age and I stopped talking to them and blocked them right there. To be honest, you shouldn't be talking to random people on the internet anyways.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be getting into random DM conversations with them anyways, because you can't verify the age of people.
That's facts.
Very well. So, like, what? It's weird to call it a honeypot. What could you said that could have been used against you? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it was even like that Shud that said it. Like, just using the word honeypot just kind of like implies that there's interest.
Yes, thank you, Ace.
Or something like that, which is why I felt like that might have been like a bad choice of wording.
Well, I understand the phrase honeypot from an episode of Archer where they say,
Jar, you don't live in the real fucking world. You don't live in the real world. You. This is the problem I have with the art commentary community, okay? They all live in television shows. They live in cartoons. They don't live in the real fucking world.
It's like, I know I've referenced like TV shows and movies, but it's more so like, not on just like, I guess like if I'm being canceled, that I'm like, oh, Opie Taylor once said, like, I'm just saying something stupid, but no, like, I mean, I might have compared content creating to wrestling. I'm like, but it's more so like on just how to continuously keep, because I still think along those lines. I like, it's just more so, it's just something that kind of, I guess, like helps me manage my content creating career. I'm like, okay, I know if I kind of like widen out my variety of just content, that's kind of like with a wrestler widening out their variety of moves, then it's like, that's gonna have the crowd entertained. They're gonna be like, oh wow, you got like a lot in his arsenal and things, having a long career, going to platform to platform. And then it's like, yeah, and then it's for a wrestler, it's like going from like shows to shows or touring all over the world, going from like place to place, stuff like that. But yeah, it's like, when you're talking on something a little bit more serious, and then you're trying to compare it, the situation to a TV show, yeah, that's what they're gonna be like, bruh, no, just know that's a acted out show. You are a real person. Two different things, bro.
Jar, we don't live in cartoons.
Yeah.
This is the real world. Jar, this is the real fucking world.
I can't.
And this was somebody, he was like, I just remember he wanted me to be buddy with him and help him out with his content and stuff. Like, he was all like, oh, let me make a deal, let me help you out. And overall, he probably would have at some point in time would have wanted me to collaborate with him and stuff. I just, man, it's something where I'm like, that was a nuclear bullet, bro, that I had dodged. Like, that's just something where I'm like, I think I would have left content creating. If I would have had a video where me and just a robot was working side by side, I'm like, yeah, it has to, if that ever does happen, there has to be somebody out there worse than just a robot. And I'm like, it's me, I'm like, that is a crazy thing to even think about. But yeah, it's something where I'm like, I probably would have left content creating. I'm like, yeah, wouldn't have been no different than any of his other people that was in his circle, and they done left content creating. But anyways,
like this anymore.
It's where you get blackmail on someone, it's not me doing the honeypotting. It's obviously the other person doing the honeypotting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying.
I don't believe Jar's a real human being. I think Jar is like a psyop. I'm being real. Jar is a psyop. Like he's not a real person. He isn't.
The first post to a minor was that fart fetish image, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, actually. I don't remember that. I know that he
I
asked the
remember him
Jaded
talking about
Animations
that.
lewd shit to the minor, but he didn't know it was a minor at the time, and then they said that they were a minor, and Jar stopped talking to them, but still kind of talked to them. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh no, don't pretend to be a 14-year-old around me. What I'm saying is I immediately got suspicious of that. And who knows? It could have been an actual 14-year-old who just misspelled the word happy and was really socially awkward with how they said, hi, I want to make you hoppy. I just felt uncomfortable about that. I blocked them and I moved on with my day. I don't see why. I really don't see the problem.
It's the way you're describing it. You said it was a honeypot. That's crazy to say. Like, you could have just said this is a suspect account and I blocked it. I didn't want to engage with it. You could have just said that instead of using the word honeypot. That's everyone's point. You gotta be kidding.
Problem.
Like I said, it was just maybe like the wording of it again. That's like just another thing that was like wording, which I mean, I know you like recognize even like yesterday when we talked about it that like, you know, sometimes you say things that not in the best of wording and it gets you into shit.
I'm aware that nothing has gotten me in trouble more than else.
Right. I mean, I guess like what I'm also kind of confused about.
Stop doing commentary content then. Stop it.
Cindy, right, was like an alleged child predator or, you know, alleged groomer or whatever.
I wouldn't call it alleged. It's not alleged.
Evidence is there.
It's true.
Or label you want to put on it, right? It's just some of the things that you talked about in that call. Why did you tell them that you had files on every art commentator?
It was in case they came after me because like, and honestly, I was just going off because like, and honestly, I was just trying to pretty much just sound cool because.
Wow.
Stop it.
Wanting to sound cool about having information about random people on the internet. Something where it's like, here's the thing. And even just about myself, it's like a person doesn't really know where their career is going to go when it comes down to just any sort of like entertainment business. You know, you got artists that have been trying to make a name for themselves for like probably decades and stuff. You know, you got it same with actors, the same with even content creators and things, you know, probably people that write you know, books, stories, poems, whatever for the internet and things. You got people of all aspects of the entertainment business that's trying to make a name for themselves. Do you honestly think if, let's say, they get into it with somebody that's roughly around the same size as them, do you honestly think that's gonna matter like 100 years from now? You know, it's one of those things where I'm like, it probably wouldn't be getting talked about. I'm like, the thing is this, around the time of it happening, whoever it is that's like, I guess the last person to talk about it, that's gonna be the last time that'll be getting talked about. But it's going to definitely be during a time where you guys are like actively doing your content creating stuff. But like 100 years down the road, where it's like whoever my 15th, 16th, 17th, 20th great grandkid is, you know, my like, whoever that individual is, it's the least of their worries. You know, it's all like, oh yeah, it's like back in 20 whatever and things, you know, or 2010 through 20 whatever. It's like, yeah, my 20th great grandfather, he was a content creator and stuff, you know, these were his videos. But it's like, do you think that they're gonna be talking like, well, I don't know, maybe they might be all like, oh yeah, he did get into it with some people and things, but I guess like that's if I'm like down the road, make a name for myself, people probably ain't gonna be talking about this while I'm alive. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, bro, overall, the point that I'm trying to make, who cares? You know, like, that's honestly, sit down and ask yourself that question. Who cares?
He's a psyop. He's not a real human being. He's not. I just tried to look cool explaining the Tower of Babel to a fucking groomer.
Yeah.
You're almost 30, homie. Why are you trying to sound cool to like a 20-year-old?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I get why Queen again ate him. I get it. He's so funny. He's like, he is unintentionally hilarious. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I think I just did it to make sure they could also tell me things with honesty, because I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, first it was I tried to look cool. Now it's changed to, well, I wanted them to be more honest with me, because I told them that I have files on top of files of everybody in the art commentary community. It went from I wanted to look cool to now I wanted them to be comfortable with me. That is insanity.
with you. You can be honest with me.
All right.
This is better than the DJ Academics video. I might actually scrap the AK video. This is too funny.
Huh.
So, I mean,
dang, I didn't know Krista Narc had videos on DJ Academics. I'll be interested in seeing them videos. Yeah, because don't nobody people don't like Just a Robot. People really don't like DJ Academics. I'm like, man, the amount of times I didn't see that guy go through some controversy. But anyway,
that is kind of like a little bit of like an odd move to do in that situation, regardless. But like, I don't know.
Absolutely. That's why I edited it out of the original thing, and then I wanted to be transparent and leak the full thing.
Yeah.
Like, I could have kept that to myself, but I wanted to be upfront. Unfortunately, that's now just seen as self-reporting. You don't admit to something, you're hiding it. If you admit to it, you're self-reporting.
I mean, regardless of like if you meant it or not, I just thought it was like a weird thing to just say in that situation, just because like it's a person with allegations. You know, you're talking to them, you're interviewing them, right?
Yeah.
Just
I already admitted I completely have no excuse for how I had to conduct myself in that call.
Right.
I'm glad you recognize that, Jar. I'm glad you recognize that. I fucking love this.
I mean, I think you might have tapped on this a little bit. But...
You know, like, just doing the bare minimum. If you're interviewing somebody who has allegations against them, maybe not talk about how they can't how that other person can't masturbate, laugh at them, like, make fun of them for being gay. Or whatever the fuck, or like them not being gay. I don't even remember. It was such an obviously leading interview because he already had a bias because he just believed what Kumo said.
But is there any reason why you also ask like leading questions?
Could you repeat that?
You might have answered this before, but just to ask just again, is there any reason why you ask Cinnabare like leading questions in the interview? Jar?
Could you elaborate more?
What do you mean elaborate? What do you mean elaborate? That's a standard question. Jar, you acknowledge that you did lead questions in the interview, and the interview came across as leading. Why was there such hesitation on this? Jar, are you having a coding error? He's having a coding error.
I'm trying to understand the best I can because that's...
Yeah, sorry. I'll put it a little bit like a bit easier to understand. Is there...
You need to bring it down to retard level, Ace.
Any reason in the interview, like when you ask Cinnabare questions, is there any reason why you ask them questions to basically lead... It felt like you kind of like wanted to lead them to an answer you wanted them to answer with.
Honestly, I was extremely tired. It was late for me, and I also...
You were tired? What?
It was late for me.
You're leading a question, and the reason why you're leading a question is because you're tired. If anything, the question is not going to make any sense, but man.
So I asked leading questions for them to make my video sound better. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit, yeah. Bullshit. That is bullshit. You already knew in your head what kind of video you were going to make at the time. Bullshit, Jar.
I didn't want them to run away, and honestly, I have no excuse for myself. I don't know why. I guess I just wanted to hear the answers. I wanted to hear. I didn't want to believe that they were. I think I said this in my video. I didn't want to believe they were as guilty as everybody made them out to be.
There you go. That you just answered. Oh my god, you didn't need to add the caveat of like, oh, I was just really tired. Jar, what you wanted was confirmation bias. The things that we were all criticizing you of, you just admitted to it right now. You admitted to it. You had a confirmation bias. You did this interview with Cinnabare to
That's why it was like, I have no excuses, but we use excuses. Yeah, no, pretty much.
Confirm it because you wanted to go against the grain. You wanted to be the person that vindicated Cinnabare because you felt like that was necessary, and you wanted them to answer the way that you wanted so your video could fit the narrative you were crafting. You could have just said that. But instead it was, oh, I was tired.
Yeah, it was the first interview I've ever done. And
is that true? Is that the first interview Just a Robot's ever done? That doesn't sound real to me.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a fucking second. This is the first interview that Just a Robot's ever done in his whole career. I don't know why I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Laka, you saying no, it's not. Who did he interview? He's done many. Give me some names. Let's see if I can pull those up. No, so this is him conducting an interview. Him conducting interviews, not him being the interviewee. He's done videos on interviewing people like Antunes. Okay, Let's see if I can find this video. All right, Just a Robot, Antunes. All right, where are we here?
I'm a lesbian.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? I'm a lesbian. Let me see here. Is it in this video, Laka? There we go. So he's done a DM interview. So he has done interviews. You can argue that he hasn't done a call interview, but he has interviewed people before. These are questions that he asked Antunes about their drama. So he knows how to conduct an interview, whether or not it's call versus text.
But it's like, even if it's something that you've never done before, still, you're gonna, my thing is this. So when I'm like, all right, so if I'm like getting into some form of, no, prime example, when I got into gaming videos or even just reaction videos, I did some sort of research first before I just went out and just did a gaming video to react. Yeah, because originally when I did want to do a gaming video, this is how I would do a gaming video. I would, so pretend this is an iPod Touch. I would get my iPod Touch digital camera. There was even at times where I would prop up my iPad at the time when I had one, but I still got it. I just don't use it. But no, yeah, it's like I will prop up my iPad to where it faces my computer screen. But overall, if I couldn't do that, I would get me a digital camera or my iPod. I think at the time I was using a digital camera, play games with one hand and then record. Fam, and then that's why I was all like, I can't do videos like that no more. I need both my hands. Capture card, good decent gaming computer, OBS, Streamlabs OBS. I'm saying, like, there's so many, tutorials on how to use these things. I'm still learning stuff about them, but yeah, overall it's like, you're gonna do some sort of research. You're not just gonna go out but that's his thing though. When he wants to make a video on somebody, he just wants to hurry up and get that video done, all right? When he had made his first video on me, he just watched the one video. He didn't watch the other videos I had up. But yeah, it's something where I'm like, yeah, that's just his game. That's how he does things. But anyways.
This could be a semantical argument on that. But Jar said that is the first time he's ever done an interview.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't believe it. I didn't believe it.
Mind if we take a break for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Just, I'll stay on call. I just will mute myself. I just want to get something.
Yeah, sure.
Please tell me Ace cut out this stuff. He didn't.
I just grabbed some water and used the bathroom real quick.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I honestly think my thought process at the time was I didn't want her to run away, and sometimes you have to ask people leading questions when they're in a state of panic, but I think the way I did it was incredibly stupid.
You should not be leading questions. I understand you don't want them to leave the call, but you shouldn't be giving them softball questions that you're hoping that they're going to answer so that you can craft the narrative that you want. Your job is to talk about what actually happened and to get their unabashed side, not the side that you want them to say.
I'm not the person to handle stuff like this, so I'm not ever going to try to do something like this again.
Right. What made you want to get involved anyways?
Honestly, I felt bad for them. I thought it was, it just seemed like something was off. I did feel bad for them, and
Which I will admit, there was a gay op happening in the background between Jack and all these little freaks that are no longer sweeping for Jack anymore. There was a gay op. I watched the call. We're going to upload it to the channel eventually. The gay op that Birdie and their little friends were running in regard to the Cine Bear stuff, but Cine Bear's also a freak groomer.
Yeah.
Both things can be true at once. That there was a gay op happening, but Cine Bear is a disgusting groomer. Yeah. Your problem, and Kumo's problem, was that you guys only thought a gay op was happening and not looking at the real evidence.
I have a lot of feelings with a lot of dramas where I feel like something's off, and I don't say anything, only for things to get revealed later on. Like with the John Swan and Dream drama, I was very suspicious about everything. I didn't say anything. I was like, dang it. And I wanted to take my time with this, like go through it slowly.
Why is John Swan being mentioned in this? Poor John Swan. He can't escape it.
And I really thought there was something here because at the end of the day, if I was wrong, I knew I would get bashed, Cindy would still get bashed, and that's how things would have gone. Like, if I was right, I would have helped someone. And, yeah.
Hold on, one more. Thinking.
But it's like, how can you be right? My thing is this. So, you read all the evidence. You overall, you do all the research that you need to do. How could you possibly be right on that? How about, all right, so you know what? Let me just ask this question. I do a video saying that, I feel bad for EDP 445 and, the stuff that he did. It wasn't all that bad. I mean, the person did offer them food that's edible, and the person gotta eat. EDP, he's a hungry individual. I mean, look at his size. The man gotta eat. So therefore, yeah, it's okay for him to meet up with a minor and get a cupcake. Do you honestly think that something like that would slide? Do you honestly think that's something that people would be all like, oh, well, I see TMossBoss's point. Yeah, you know, TMossBoss for president. Yeah, he just did the best defense video of all. No, I'm going to get hated on. People are like, bro, you are defending a pedophile. You do not understand. And then there's going to be all these other different things coming out about me. I don't know what them things could be, but if I'm in the same shoes as just a robot, then yeah, it's like gonna be people all like, oh yeah, TMossBoss, he wants. I did actually do that when I was in school. I dumped pizza. No, it was breadstick sauce on this girl's hair. But she bumped into me and made me drop my food on the no, it was like across the table and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it was like hey, look, it was one of those things. I'm like, she shouldn't have bumped into me. All right, and she wouldn't have got no breadstick sauce in the middle of the lunchroom when 5 minutes before recess. She brought that herself. But anyways, but I'm just saying though, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, if you just overall avoided that video, you wouldn't be going through the situation that you're going through right now. So anyway,
last question.
I don't know. I think there was a couple things I still had to ask. Hold on. Fuck. It just kind of like slipped my mind. Hold on.
Take your time.
Yeah. What else was there? Okay. Yeah. I guess in the Jar Lio call. Oh yeah, Jar. Yeah. I was kind
of. Dude, this is gonna be funny. This is gonna be funny. Okay, because I've already talked to the party affected by this section, so I already know what's coming up in this part. Now listen, I'm just gonna let it play. And I'm going to let you know what I think, okay? I'm just going to let it go.
of confused about like something. It seemed like you kind of admitted to something that sounds really fucked up. There was like a part where I think Lio just basically just says you use people as tools or stepping stones. And you just kind of like didn't negate that.
Lio was yelling a lot. I mean, I did push back on one thing. And
Lio was yelling a lot. Okay.
And I remember that call. He said that he did Lio. I remember Lio Convoy saying that I think he was sick or something, so he didn't want to like get loud or anything. So I felt like that he wasn't talking loud. I feel like in a black household, he's whispering. All right. So yeah, it's one of those things where yeah, he wasn't yelling or talking loud. I'm like, black people, we think louder than that. It's one of those things where I'm like, nah, bruh. It's no excuses, man. Whatever it is that you talk that he's getting ready to ask. I'm like, nah, bro. It's like, or they just give out a simple answer. Stop trying to beat around the bush or come up with a bunch of different answers to piece together an answer. But anyway,
anyone remember when I reviewed the Lio Convoy Just a Robot call? Did anyone watch that? Did anyone watch when I reviewed that? Now, if you know anything about Lio, he's a maniac. he's a fucking maniac. But like, out of all the things I've seen Lio do in regard to calls and confronting people, there was no lying. There was no yelling in that call. There was frustration, but there was no yelling. It was him talking to a retarded kid and being like, I am frustrated with you and you need to listen. There's a difference between yelling and being frustrated with somebody who he thought was his friend. I don't know if we can call that yelling, Jar. I think that's crazy to call it yelling. Also, chat, I have a question. Okay, I'm going to pose it to my chat here. Lio offered me the lion head that he wore where he was dressed up like a samurai. Should I say yes to having that sent to me? And I get a letter of authenticity that it is from Lio Convoy. Should I get it? I don't have to pay for it. He just said he'll send it to me. I think I should take it. I think I should take the lion head. It's a piece of the channel's history. I am gonna disinfect it. You fucking crazy.
And that was the only thing I pushed back on was I said I don't always go back.
Damn, son, I gotta give Lio my address. Oh god.
My apologies. And then I asked him, what have I gone back on? And he said, oh, I don't have any examples. So like I don't know what was going on.
I'm gonna talk to Lio about it. I want that head. I want it on a little desk. Right there. Actually, no, I'm going to hang it up on the wall right there. I need the camera angle. I'm going to hang it up right up there. I'm going to put it in a fucking glass box, and it's just going to say, Trophy of Lio.
Like, no, I shouldn't say that. I knew what was going on. The thing is...
Oh, that's a good idea. Put it in the trophy case of dramas that I've had.
I don't know.
You know what? I have been collecting mementos of different dramas that I've had. Huh. I might actually make like a fucking gay little case or something just for the memories.
What he was saying, so I just decided to stay quiet and not say anything because after the Chud call, I just made an ass of myself. So
I haven't touched the Boblax plushie. It's still like I haven't touched it since Boblax did this whole like gay fucking Mr. McManchi shit. I refuse to touch it now. I think it's cursed. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I think it's cursed now.
I just wanted to stay quiet. And I don't think I use people.
I'm not gonna touch the Boblax plushie.
I really don't think I do that. But what if I do that? And I was in not the best mental state. I've been questioning myself a lot. I mean, I can't really think of
Yeah, true.
an example of using someone as a stepping stone. Like I didn't be like more importantly, what does that mean?
I don't even believe it's the opposite of the Sonichu Medallion. I don't believe it's the opposite. I think it's becoming the next Sonichu Medallion. Slowly, it's becoming that.
Using someone as
I don't want to take a risk, dude. I don't want to take the risk.
stepping stone? Well, I mean, it would most likely, I guess, infer in this context that you would befriend someone with just only the intention in mind.
What if Lyo's head's cursed? Well, Lyo's going to have to wrap it in plastic wrap, and then I'm going to have to wear gloves, and then I'm going to put it in a box, okay? I'm not going to physically touch it with my fucking hands.
To backstab them in a video later so that you could grow yourself, which I guess that's what that was implied there.
Any example? The only example, the closest thing I can think of is the name's Junkie, and he went against me first, and I begged him to like just talk things out with me, and he wouldn't. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to talk about what he's been saying about me behind the scenes, and that's the closest thing I can come to. Like I didn't backstab Lyle Convoy. Sure, I was working on a video, but I never made it. And you know, I've been going back and forth on it for several months. I didn't backstab Spockter. We weren't that close, and you know,
Junkie was in the FCK. Thuman, where are you? I know you're still here. Yeah, I see you, woman. Where's your video? Where is the FCK video of Akumu and Thuman? I need it now. I have been screaming from the rooftops. I want to cover the FCK drama. Akumu knows that I want it. Someone upload the damn videos.
No, I was pretty charitable, all things considered, at least in comparison to other videos back then.
Wasn't the example he used in the call, if I remember correctly, Doodle Tones per se? Or...
I mean, Doodle Tone started it with me, and I tried to work things out with Doodle Tones for a long.
Oh, Doodle Tones, the diaper fetish roleplay enthusiast. Imagine being in a call with Doodle fucking Tones.
Time Doodle Tones got exposed. That Doodle Tones getting exposed had nothing to do with me.
Right.
I didn't even know what was going on, but I'm also kind of if I did know what was.
I have an idea. If Jar wants forgiveness from me, he needs to give me his voice changer modulator. I need what he uses to change his voice into a robot, and I will put that in a box with a lion head.
Was going on. Do you think I should have talked about what was going on with the FCK stuff? Because
I'm going to start collecting trophies. You know, Keep collects play buttons. I'm going to collect gay little trophies.
I'm put in this situation. If I don't talk about what my friends do, I'm hiding stuff. If I do talk about it, I'm a backstabber. The thing is, I've done neither.
Right. No, I don't think you should be silent about the FCK. I think that would be something I would encourage you to talk about as a situation now. I wouldn't ever discourage someone to talk about the FCK unless their only intention was to sweep things up or hide something. But I don't think that's what you would ever plan to do from my knowledge.
I agree that Jar should have said something about the FCK stuff. I don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah, and I was also kind of just letting Lyo vent because he seemed like he had a lot of built-up anger.
Bro, it was more frustration than I can't believe I'm defending Lyo in a fucking call like this. But like, dude, Lyo could have yelled at you like he did all the other fucking people. He didn't. He literally didn't. You're pissing me off, Jar.
Because I guess like him and Lyle Convoy, they used to be cool. I don't know if they still are cool, but I think at one point in time, I'll say this much: like I think their like friendship was at a I guess like a high standard, but I feel like currently now like their friendship is probably at a low standard just because it's like, you know, just a robot. He's kind of on the weird side. Even that kind of no, he is on the weird side, and you know, Lyle, I think he's doing an idiot there because I think Lyle Convoy, he got caught up in some drama too, but I think he's trying to do any and everything in his power to just avoid drama and avoid being involved in any sort of, I guess, person that is involved in drama. But anyway,
I won't lie. Lyo has helped me a lot privately, and I do thank him for that. That's why I was having such a hard time making.
Goes to say that Lyo was screaming and yelling at me too. Well, Lyo really helped me out a lot. Which is it, you fucking asshole?
A video on him because I didn't know if it was the right thing to do or not. Because should you only be nice to people who are nice to you? If someone helps you out, should you never call them out? But I never leaked anything about Lyo, as far as I know. The closest thing was a DM to Kumo, and I asked Lyo for permission to do that.
Right. I mean, I guess we could like ask about that a little bit with the Lio convoy video. What was like? I guess what was going to be your angle with it? Just because I'm kind of curious.
Oh, I forgot that Jar was working on a Lio convoy video. When the peak of the Lio drama, the Kino Lio drama. Lio will hate me for calling it Kino, but it was Kino.
Like, what would have you talked about per se?
Well, the thing is, I can make up anything. Like, I can say anything. I can say, oh, it was a defense video or an offensive video. I was just trying to go over his history and everything.
What?
Right. I mean, I guess we could like ask about that a little bit with the Lio convoy video. What was like? I guess what was going to be your angle with it? Just because I'm kind of curious. Like, what would have you talked about per se?
Well, the thing is, I can make up anything. Like,
why would you do it that way? Didn't you
Yeah.
have an idea of what kind of video? Why do you have to preface it with, well, I could have lied, I could have made stuff up, I could have done this, but I had ultimately was just gonna do a history video on him. Why preface that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I can say,
I'm going to pause the video right here, so I just gotta tend to some things real quick, but I will get back to this video. But anyways, yeah, you know, I just gotta do some things real quick, so give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I was recording this video last night. Then I realized I needed to stream, realized I needed to post videos. I had a lot on my mind, alright? So I'm back. I'm going to continue where I made sure of it that I typed up where I last left off at, because if I had just exited out and I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to have it. I mean, the video is good. I wouldn't mind watching it all over again, but I'm like, I made a significant amount of distance in this video, so I ain't trying to go back that far. But anyways, with that being pushed to the side, let's get back into this video.
I can say, oh, it was a defense video or an offensive video. I was just trying to go over his history and everything he did. But the thing is, like, this is completely anecdotal because no one knows what I was going to say at this point because I never made the video. So I honestly don't see the point in even asking this question because
he's curious. You were going to make a video on the history of your friend.
It's like, that's how interviews work. Of course, they're going to ask questions where you think it doesn't matter. It's like them questions that you don't think matters is going to matter to everybody else. So
let's be honest here. I can very easily lie about what my intentions were because no one knows.
I mean,
but if you're trying to be honest in an interview, wouldn't you want to just tell the truth, Jar? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I guess you could lie.
Why even say that?
Yeah.
Jar is literally the ultimate snake. Tipster and
yeah.
Boblax can't hold a fucking
I mean, look at the interactions he done. Well, more so, I guess, like for those that were there during that time. It's like, look at all the interactions he done had with people. That's the funny thing is that there's still fans of his that come after me. But that's one question that I would like to ask them. When was the last time Just a Robot, just out of the kindness of his heart, did something for you? You know, when was the last time he helped you edit a video? When was the last time he had you, just like that, just without any strings attached, he just say, hey, you want to be a part of my video? See, it's like that stuff that like a friend would do. That's something where it's all like, hey, no strings attached, none of that. I want you to be a part of my video. I want to help your channel grow, all that stuff. I don't want you to do anything for me in return. Just a Robot looks at it as like, and that's probably the situation with him and Lio Convoy. Lio Convoy didn't do enough for him, although like Just a Robot praises this guy, but I had to say more so, I don't know, maybe it's with the Cinebear situation and just overall like he sat down and got to thinking about it like, oh yeah, he hasn't done nothing that I can benefit off of. So yeah, that's why he was probably going to do that video. It's like, if he can't do anything for me where I could benefit off of it, then I guess I'll just make a video on him and I could just benefit off of that. But anyways,
Handle the Jar.
That's what you want the answer to be.
Yeah, because like there's no proof either way.
I mean, you still have the draft of your script, right?
I don't think I
Why are you thinking about this?
do. I think I could look for it, but I don't think I do.
I mean, I guess like that would be the only way, if like in your situation, that you probably could prove the truth is if you showed someone what you were writing. But I don't know. That's your choice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I was just trying to ask you for your side on it, but like, I mean, it would have been, I guess the answer would have affected.
Jar
I don't
says
know.
he's gonna make Leo video and implies he's been planning it also. Jar, I have no idea what I was gonna say in my Leo video.
Yeah, crazy, right? It's almost like Jar is lying there. It's almost like he was going to jump on the bandwagon against his friend.
yeah, that's crazy.
And he just doesn't want to say it out loud.
I'm trying to think the answer that could have answered something. Like if you were gonna make the video just to shit on him endlessly.
He did hype it up. He did hype up the Lio Convoy video.
That probably would not be a positive thing, but I don't know. Depends. really depends how your answer could have been. But
yes, the thing is though, let's say I released a script. How do people know I didn't like change it or edit it or whatever? Like at this point, oh yeah. Well, the thing is though, like at this point, I didn't even make the video, so I don't see why anyone should care. So
it's more of a curiosity thing. You were hyping up the video. You were hyping it up and saying, "Oh, this Lyle Convoy video, this Lyle Convoy video, Lyle Convoy video." You were hyping it. It's not out of the realm of Ace asking you that question while you're in the call.
I'm
well, yeah, I mean that's fully.
So I'm guessing like he was just gonna do this video to like bash him or to, cause I don't know, man. I find that weird. I'm like it's one of those things where then again it's like, I mean, I did call out Just the Robot's friends for not making videos on him because yeah, it's like, you know, you see, and I think that's overall it's one of those things where it's like they don't disagree with what he said. So yeah, it's something where I'm like, they could go out and say, oh, like in some tweet or in some whatever, but I'm like, no, make a video. I'm like, be you know, active in this situation. It's like, how do you actually feel about that stuff? But yeah, I don't know. I find that weird. Like the way that he talks about this guy, I'm like, talking on Lyle Convoy, or the way that Just a Robot talks on Lyle Convoy, I'm like, I don't think if I'm in that position where if one of my friends is being canceled for something like, oh, let me make a video talking about the situation and stuff. I'm like, I don't know what I would overall gain from that and things. But if anything, I'm just like, you know, I guess like if I were to like, let's say if I had a friend that's in content creating, they get called out for some stuff and people are asking, you know, my opinion on it. Yeah, it's like, I guess I would do it where it's like, you know, I will, yeah, disagree with their actions, whatever their actions may be. But I'm like, hey, you know, it's like I'm still friends with this person in a way, but I just think that, you know, for the time being, it's like, yeah, I think it's probably best to, so I don't get caught up in this drama and they think it like, oh, I support him because, or them, whoever, because I'm having them involved in my content. I think, yeah, it's, you know, best they get their situation handled. But I just think that, I don't know, I just think that Just a Robots community, they rely too much on each other. It's something where it's like, you know, in whether it's like in a negative way or in a positive way, they just rely on each other too much. I'm like, why do you need to make a video on the situation? But then again, I'm like, I don't know. I think it was like, it had to have been about the whole like him yelling at like some girl or something like that, or like bullying her or whatever the case may be. But that goes down a lot in Just the Robots community too. But yeah, I don't know. Like, this is somebody that you're, like, good friends with. I'm like, yeah, I just think that, you know, yeah, Just a Robot, he's 100% a user. I'm like, he's just, whatever situation he could make a video on, he is gonna make a video on it and stuff. I mean, look at the Cinebear crap. Look at all the other videos he done made where it's like, it just didn't need to be made. But anyway.
I also don't see, huh?
No, I get that. Like, it's definitely like your choice whether to make it public or not. I mean, I was just asking to see like what you were gonna like talk about it if you were to make it, but
well, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter because I'm not making it. And if people are very mixed on Lio, he's mostly hated. So
yeah, he is. He is mostly hated. He is mostly hated. Like, bro, that's true. That's true. But I will argue that Lio has gotten a little bit better. I can argue that. I still stand by all the shit I said.
It's whatever at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I'm trying to think because I guess like just looping back to that thing that was said with the whole like stepping stones and like tools thing. Were you trying to like, did you have like the end goal of maybe defending Cine to hopefully one day that if you were in drama to ask her for help?
That has never worked.
That has never worked.
Why would I do that? That has never worked for me ever.
Wait, but you turned around and did state that you were hoping that you could get something out of that relationship. Yeah. That you wanted a group of people and friends to work with you in the event that you were Bro, you brought it up in the Chud Logic stream. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just asking you, like, was that your end?
No, because anytime, especially people, like, there are certain people who would be able to
So
help me.
What was the reason then? That's what I would like to know. It's like, okay, let's say your video did help Cinebear get back on track, that it's like you get caught up in some, or, okay, so let's lay out a scenario here. So you do this video, it ends up, like, reestablishing, Cinebear's career. I have like this crazy growth on YouTube, and then I make a video coming after you, and now it's like all this like drama that's being, so you're trying to build up some like weird Avengers team and stuff. And I guarantee, my thing is this, I guarantee and I promise you, it definitely would be a situation where, yeah, she would have gotten a strongly worded message from him saying like, hey, can you help me out with this TMossBoss video and things. But yeah, it's like that's the thing where I'm like, I think you think that people are just unfamiliar with how you are. It's like you might this was literally I remember one of the like first few times when we sat down, and well, no, it was that night in December where he was all like, oh, he was like, let me make a deal with you. He's like, you help me or I help you with your content, and then it's like, oh, you gotta like do things for me and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, no. So but it's like, this is literally how every single one of your relationships got started throughout content creating. So all of a sudden with Cinebear, it's different. I'm saying you ask anybody that's ever had some sort of communication with just a robot and they got to working with each other, how did that conversation go? Because I guarantee and I promise you, it ain't gonna be no different than the conversation before and the conversation that followed after. So anyways,
who I could befriend, Cindy is definitely not one of them.
Right.
I mean, girl can't even defend herself, so why would I ask her for help?
And I think he's probably saying this because didn't she get like on Kumo's like a video or a stream or whatever and called him like weird or creepy or something, talking about just a robot. So yeah, that's probably why he's saying that. But I guarantee and I promise you, yeah, Cinebear was like, oh yeah, he's my knight shining armor, or hero, whatever and things. Yeah, it's like I guarantee and I promise you, he wouldn't have been the way he's talking right now about Cinebear. He wouldn't have been talking about about her like that.
In the video and in the live stream, Laka's right. You did say that you wanted their help.
Yeah.
Why are you lying?
It's like, when you say it like that, I can see that. I don't know, it's just like with the DMs, it's like,
Ace, you should have revisited Jar's old video, bro. This is so many lies.
It definitely
Start
did
sharing
definitely have a
some
little bit of savior
clips.
complex a little bit.
That's fine. I really thought I was doing the right thing because I thought worst case scenario, people bash me and Cindy falls anyways, and I thought that was the worst case scenario. But if the best case scenario was like I was actually onto something here, I think what I did was ultimately selfless. But anyone
selfless? Wow. What are you talking about? Was it selfless? You didn't do the research. You had a confirmation bias that Cinebear was fucking innocent, or that they were innocent enough that you could turn the tide of the drama. Why is he talking like this? Oh, I was being selfless defending a groomer, or trying to not do the research to understand why people are mad at this person and why the evidence stacks against them.
Would say that. So I don't know. It's up to the judgment is up to
This is BS because Jar literally said he wanted to have Cine and Akumu help him against the ACC
yes.
in his response addressing his allegations Lamau.
He's just lying. Like, he's actually just fucking lying.
The eye of the beholder, or whatever you say.
I mean, the only thing is, like, I think I would respect that perspective a lot more if you went through the research a lot more thoroughly. Because
true, hey, so fucking true.
I feel like you would have came to the same conclusion. I feel like you would have been at least to a similar conclusion to a lot of people. I mean, even Kumo conceded that it was sexual misconduct with a minor, like on other streams, which he has even said is worse than grooming.
Well, hold on, Kumo, after a while, even though the evidence was in front of his retarded, beady little fucking eyes, then conceded when Beckett showed him more evidence. And when he found out about the call, he didn't think anything was that bad. It was locker room girl talk. Kumo is lying there, okay? Kumo called it locker room girl talk, which is insanity.
At that point, I don't know why he would still defend her.
Kumo confuses me. But like, sexual okay, Can we take a break so I can ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think sexual misconduct is worse than grooming, or like what is sexual misconduct?
Well, I haven't like seen like the actual definition of it. It's just I remember that was a claim he made.
Because like when I think of grooming, like I think of people like trying to meet up with a minor in person.
Oh, Char, yes, that is a factor of it. Okay, that is a outcome that can happen. Grooming can also deal with the intention of getting the minor comfortable enough to engage with acts that they normally wouldn't, so that person can get their rocks off on it.
Yeah.
And corrupt the child.
And
prepping for sex, that would be the core definition, yes.
Yeah, so I don't know what sexual misconduct means, but if he said, "Oh, I think this thing is worse than,"
I'm like, that's very fitting for him. After the fact that he came out and said that it was either in the response video, or I think it was that, or not, or yeah, it was like the response after the Cinebear video where he did say that he got like fired from multiple jobs, and it's most likely for sexual misconduct. I'm like, you out here saying inappropriate things that your coworkers didn't feel comfortable saying. So it's like, of course you wouldn't know that. But anyway,
but I'm still going to defend her.
All right, so here's like I'm just looking up a definition. What is defined as sexual misconduct? Involvement in any sexual contact when the victim is unable to consent.
Jar, how do you not know what that is?
I'm done. I can't.
This dude is so fucking stupid. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
So I mean,
he should not be doing drama content. He should not be covering grooming a pedophile or rape. Or
I said that numerous times that he shouldn't be doing the content that he's doing. I'm like, fam, you could have done gaming content. You could have done like there. Even if you wanted to do commentary content, there's other like forms of commentary that you could have done versus like, you know, doing this stuff. And yeah, he did. It's like you're not gonna realize that at the start of it. Like you do that first video, then it goes well for you, and then yeah, it's like eventually it is going to crash and crumble. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you gotta look at it long term, where it's like, is this stuff gonna be good for me down the road? Because yeah, people are gonna use it against me. I'm pretty sure that there's probably videos that we'll never get a chance to see because he took them videos down because he realized like how bad they were. Not bad to like, oh, it's just poor content, but bad is like he then said some stuff where it's like, bro, you know, you're gonna have people looking at you, but it's like you got people already doing that now. But anyway,
these allegations, he can't do it.
That would be like,
that sounds like, so is it rape? Like I
wow.
Is it rape?
No, please, I'm not trying to be stupid. I'm really asking here because, like, when I hear not consent, that's the first thing that pops into my mind.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like that's something where it's just, you know, at his age, because I think he has to be either between 1 to 4 years older than me. I don't know exactly how old he is, but I know he is older than me. I just remember seeing it somewhere where people were saying that he might be in his 30s, but regardless, it's like that's not stuff that you should be asking at that age. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I just think that it's horrible that he has like kids as his fans and stuff, because I'm like, yeah, my thing is this, a kid could be easily manipulated, you know, when it comes to a content creator that they're a fan of and stuff, where it's like you say things or just overall how you carry yourself and how you act on the internet. A kid, the thing is this, a kid gonna act that same exact way whether they're in school or when they get older or whatever, because they think it's gonna be normal. They see that you're doing it, they see that you haven't gotten in any trouble, then they gonna go out and do something 10 times worse than what you did. And here's the thing, at some point in time, it is going to fall back on you. So, yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you got to realize it, that it's like you asking questions like that, and now it's like then became public. Yeah, I think a lot of kids should be looking at like, yeah, this guy, he ain't no leader. It's like he's more of a follower, if anything. If he don't know how to lead, if he don't know how to, like, you know, just overall operate as an adult and as a content creator, then, yeah, he doesn't deserve no platform. But anyways.
Okay. Yes, yeah.
I guess if I read more of this, I don't even know why I was making that claim. Intentional and unwelcome touching of or coercing, forcing, or attempting to coerce or force another to touch a person's intimate parts, defined as genital area, groin, inner thigh, buttocks, or breast. They weren't even met in person. I don't know why I was making that claim.
I think this is just a case of misusing the word, but I think it's very weird to call something word.
Bro, this reminds me of a clip of one of Jar's videos. Jar did talk about the FCK, want to see what he said back in 2022 regards to reminders being sent porn. Laka, send that. I'm going to make you a temporary mod. Send that to me, and I might save that for the FCK video when we need to look at how Jar handled it and all the ACC people handled it. I need to start collecting
put him in a straitjacket
all the
for
videos of all the people that were defending the FCK. I need to start collecting all these people.
Worse than grooming, but I'm still going to defend it. But I did say in my video, Cindy did absolutely 100% speak very inappropriately around minors. I said it was wildly inappropriate. It was an optic nightmare. My biggest...
It's not just an optic nightmare. Yeah. They actually were sending that. They were getting the minor to engage in the sexual rape role play. Then, on top of that, they were trying to get the minor to engage with role play over voice call. It is not just inappropriate. It is not just an optics nightmare.
That's my first time. I didn't realize that she was doing that too. I just thought that she was just sending inappropriate art, but was trying to get the minor to rope. Yeah, that's crazy. It's one of those things where I'm like, I might have to sit down and read the documents myself. Like I did just more so just say like, you know, just kind of like reading the headlines and seeing like overall like what she did, but not actually reading the docs. But even without reading, I'm like, fam, there ain't no defending what she did. I'm like, if there's just the headlines, it's like she had an inappropriate conversation with a minor, that's enough for me to be like, yeah, that's like, you can't defend that. There ain't no way possible to defend that. But yeah, just a robot. It's all like, oh, he wanted to read the short documents because his brain couldn't take reading multiple words. And it's like, fam, like what somebody had said earlier on in the video, text to speech exists. So it's like you could have selected copy and paste like on each page and stuff, and then or even just had it where. And I'm saying, it's like you got over 200,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure at least one of those fans would have joined the voice call with you and read the documents with you and stuff. But nah, it's just his brain. That's what I'm saying. His brain is wired differently. It's like it's just something where I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you made it this far in life. I'm like, it's one of those things where it's just, if it's like years done passed down the road and somebody told me, oh yeah, just a robot, he's off up in the same insane, or not insane asylum, but just of like home that they had in that Jack Nicholson movie, One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm like, it honestly doesn't surprise me. I'm like probably a big fan of that movie. He probably looked it up to see if that was an actual real place, drove up there, and yeah, he's just, I think it's best he just lives out his days in a home, because it's just, he can't be trusted out in public. But anyways,
Mayor,
or
it is
even on the
getting
internet.
Comfortable enough to engage with sexualized behavior with an adult. Grooming. Stop calling it an optics nightmare. It's not just an optics nightmare.
Issue was I was focused on, is this grooming or not? But like, and I thought, well, she was already bashed for what she did, so like, and everybody already hated her, so
right.
Then why go in the opposite direction when there was obvious evidence? Oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
We're just looping back. We're looping.
Because I mean, I guess
yeah.
I was just gonna say, like with Kumo too, like I know, like with another thing that you like said, you kind of like were a bit more convinced on his side for two things, if I remember correctly. One, usually he's very like bad-faced and malicious and has a very low bar of what he considers pedophilia, but was defending Cindy. And I believe the second one is he seemed to have won a few debates. Just like a little bit of a question with that too. If he won a few debates, right? What debates do you think he won? Just to start off with something simple.
I couldn't find the footage, so like I just remember at the time like him yelling at people and the people being like changing their minds on Cindy Bear, and I was like,
you listened to debates of him debating retards off of Twitter. It was no one of importance. What debates? It's tards on Twitter that Kumo was debating. It was no one of relevance.
it's like, this guy seems like he really wants to fight for someone. Maybe he's onto something, because there's been so many cases where everybody's bashing someone only for it to get reversed later. And I thought maybe he might have been onto something. And I really thought, worst case scenario, if I'm wrong, I'm just going to get bashed and Cindy is still going to get canceled. And something even worse than that happened.
Yeah, I mean, one thing like I kind of have a hard time following with your logic is like, his low bar thing, right? It's like, that's one thing, but it's like you've also recognized that, I think you called him like schizophrenic, if I remember correctly, or like mentally unwell or something like that in your video.
Yes.
And it's like,
I heard a rumor that he was schizophrenic, but I didn't say that. I don't believe I said he was.
But what?
You had to have said it if he's bringing it up. I'm like, who might they have? Okay, so how would he know of that? How would this A-Space guy know of that? It's like you had to have said it in the video or something. But anyways,
Kumo slamming gilded poor Beckett.
Whoa, Jar. Hold on.
Hey everyone.
Okay, Kumo.
I'm just gonna.
At first, people said it was not only okay, but a good thing that Kumo leaked an early draft of my video before it was ready. They claimed he only did it to keep me from uploading my video, which isn't the best strategy in my opinion. It's kind of like stopping your friend from shooting a guy in the face by taking the gun and shooting the guy in the face yourself. And also, I don't think what Kumo did has ever worked, like, ever. But people seem to start walking back on this claim once they realize that Kumo wasn't all there.
None of you know what the fuck you're even talking about. You keep twisting the context. And people wonder why I get upset. People wonder why I get loud. And people wonder why I fucking scream. I'm gonna start flashing.
Kumo was trying to sabotage me because he doesn't like me.
The thing is that Jar knows Kumo's history. Jar was in calls with Lio about Kumo. People were talking about Kumo behind the scenes in the ACC. I don't believe for a fucking second that Jar didn't know that Kumo was potentially mentally unwell. Jar's opinion also on the FCK. I got an interesting screenshot of Jar's real opinion on adults talking inappropriately to minors. This is them talking about the FCK. The giant sermon that groomed minors stream next week on Guess Who? Inappropriate with minors normally, but it is. That's an oof take. How's that so? You think a 22-year-old should be arrested because he said dick as a 16-year-old is present? That's not even the same thing. That's not. It's not even. That's not even remotely the same thing. That's not even. What are you talking about, Jar?
It's like, welcome to the club. That's one of those things where, yeah, just a robot, he'll say some things. So you'll say something to him. It makes sense literally to any and everybody around. To him, it doesn't make sense. So therefore, if he says that it doesn't make sense, then you have to just take his word for it that it doesn't make sense. Then his fans follow through, and they just hit my funny bump, but his fans follow through, and they say that it also doesn't make sense. So because there's a whole crowd that's saying that it doesn't make sense, therefore it doesn't. And it's like, no, bruh, you just don't understand. And this was, the thing is this was somebody that was leading an army at some point in time. Like, his fans was looked at as an army. He was leading these guys. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, it's something where I'm not going to compare him to no, like, war figures, but at the same time, it's reminding me of, like, some particular war figures, you know, from previous wars, where it's like, yeah, you led your fans into destruction. You led them into a war that they wouldn't be able to fight. It's like and the thing is this, you're looking at it, it's all like, oh, well, if we play the victim card, then people will look at us like that. No, bruh. The thing is this, with everything that Just a Robot, his fans have done throughout their, like, time span of being on the internet, there's no way possible you guys could be looked at as as victims. It's not possible. But it's like their thought process. It's just, yeah. You think back on some previous situations, and it's like that thought process ain't right. And I'm like, yeah, it's like there's ways of handling stuff, but just how he handles things, it's like, yeah, don't be surprised if everything just comes crashing, crumbling around you and stuff. But anyways.
That's not even remotely close to the same thing. Oh my god. He's so fucking dumb.
Schizophrenic in his video.
I think
he's like too stupid to be malicious.
Or something like that. Because he showed the crash out clip he had on like the Brion topic right after.
Oh yeah, but that's like that's just yelling. That's not like anything major. I mean, if I saw a clip of you yelling, I would think you were just like really angry and upset. I don't think that would be proof of you being mentally unwell.
But you did know that Kumo was mentally unwell. The whole RACC knew that. Kumo's talked about it. Don't pretend that you didn't know.
I think, yeah, he sometimes, even people who are mentally unwell, like a lot of the times they do have like important things to say. Some of the greatest minds are mentally unwell.
Wow.
I mean, I guess wouldn't you like take it with a grain of salt if they have been like very bad faith and malicious to a lot of people? I mean, heck, they've literally considered Mr. Sen to be just a flat out pedophile, and they called him a pedophile multiple times and like that. And I think you're aware of the Mr. Sen stuff, right?
Yes, I recently blocked him because I was waiting because he reached out to me, but I just blocked him because I didn't want to hear it, because I've been giving him a chance for a very long time to make a video to defend himself, but it's just never going to come out at this point. I think he's just going to bite the bullet on that, but I wasn't willing to risk defending him because it looked like he was guilty.
I mean, the messages did happen. That was like confirmed. Even like he conceded to it.
Well, he kept on telling me that it was like a context or fake, and I said, okay, I'll wait for your response, and he never made it.
Yeah, I mean, he kept saying that.
I literally do not care about the Mr. Sen drama.
Oh, finally.
I mean, he still tries to say he didn't know that it was Lolly. Very shitty judgment calls. I should probably be skeptical of what he's saying.
It was more like, okay, his bar of being what counts as a pedo is so low, or I guess in this case, I think I'm using the term so low. Like, he's called so many people pedophiles for so many reasons. So I thought, if he doesn't think this person's a pedophile, maybe he's onto something. Maybe he is, because when the least charitable guy in the room is being charitable, maybe I thought maybe I should hear him out.
But you're retarded then. Wait a minute, you're retarded. Hold on, Jar. If somebody that you know constantly acts in bad faith, and that bad faith individual starts saying the opposite of what you expect them to, wouldn't you want to double check that? Wouldn't you be a little suspicious of them saying those things? Why would you just go, well, he's probably onto something? No, that should make you more suspicious. What does that even mean?
I see. I mean, you could definitely hear them out to hear a person's side, but I mean, even with Kumo, some of the things he was saying, he was trying to like say that there was one of the craziest things he was saying, which was not spread around as much, was he unironically thought that Birdie and like all these people organized a gay op against Cinep.
They technically did. Okay, to Ace's naivete here, I don't know if he's watched the leaked call, but they were running operations to like do life ruination and stealing the cat and coordinating her getting fired from her job and all this shit. There were gay ops happening, not to the extreme that Kumo was thinking that they drugged Cinny Bear, but gay ops were happening to some degree. But the thing
That's crazy.
is that the gay op argument and Cinebear being a legitimate groomer can both coexist in the same exact situation.
They can both happen at the same time.
Cinebear to, and like what his theory was that they all sent the minor to Cinebear so that Cinebear would fuck up.
That was a retarded fucking thing. That is not a part of the gay ops.
I wouldn't put it past him to say that. I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, he said that in a live stream, and then it just like that whole thing got debunked because the group chat got leaked, and there was literally nothing of that happened or any of the sort of that happened. So it's like I don't know. It's I don't know. With what I know with Kumo, I always take everything that he says with a grain of salt. I guess I could try to understand why you took it the way you did, but I don't know. If I was in your position, I would personally thought, yeah, this guy fucks up a lot of cases.
That's exactly why you're not in my position, and I am. I made a very, very stupid judgment call, and I'm going to have to deal with the consequences for my action.
Yeah, and it's very clear that like Kumo was definitely biased. I think DMs got leaked where they were just saying that they were defending Cine just as a way to get the birdie from like the Cine support squad, and it was.
I mean, I kind of got suspicious of that when he sent me. Not saying, just a little suspicious. I want to make that clear. When he said, "Oh, just ignore Cine, talk about birdie," and I was like, "Why do you want me to talk about birdie so badly?" Because like, I'm going to be honest here. There's nothing I can do to birdie. Birdie has been canceled really, really hard back in like 2016, 2017 by like so fucking hard, and they just stayed on the internet. So I'm like, I don't see how I can do anything to birdie.
Right.
You can't really do anything to birdie, but you can still talk about it. You shouldn't listen to Kumo saying ignore Cinebear. Obviously, that was him running defensive ops. But like, bro, don't you have some autonomy to understand that both of these people are fucking insane?
Yeah, birdie is I will admit,
dumb. They are malicious.
I wasn't happy with the whole my roommate groomed a minor. Please give me money.
Right. No, like,
I wasn't happy. It was an obvious fraud. Obvious fraud.
Obviously, Birdie's made mistakes in the situation for sure.
So it was the roommate. Okay.
And,
Birdie is the roommate. Just wanted to make that clear. But anyways,
I don't want to just run away. I want to correct my mistakes and not repeat them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Birdie like borderline scammed their audience because it's like they haven't really used
borderline. No, they did scam the audience. Ace, what are you doing? They did scam their audience. They used the money to buy My Little Pony shit, buy a wheelchair that they don't use. Like, dude, it was a scam. Birdie scammed these retards.
Money for anything that they said they're going to yet.
That is crazy.
From what I've heard, it was either the two rumors I heard was they either spent it all on toys or they couldn't get it off of their account.
They did spend it on toys.
Like the money's still there.
Well, they definitely spent hundreds of it at least on My Little Pony products. There's DMs that got leaked and all that shit.
Wow.
It's like that's not anything that you need to survive with or anything. It was on My Little Pony stuff that they spent it on at Grubhub and Uber Eats and stuff like that.
Well, this has been going on for nearly an hour. Can we wrap it up?
All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I need to ask? Because for the most part, I feel like I asked a lot of the things I needed to. Yeah, I think that might be everything.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Ace. Thanks for allowing me to at least get my side out there. I understand I'm not the best in live calls. So who knows? Maybe I said something I shouldn't have.
So he says he's not the best because it's like you don't have nobody there to moderate the call for you, to help you out in the call and things. It's like, yeah, let's see you have just a call by yourself and actually achieve something out of it. But other than that, yeah. That's why I'm like, I just remember the time where it was him and his friend where they were trying to get me involved in the call, and I'm like, no, I'm doing perfectly fine. Don't need to have no call with you. I'm like, it's one of those things where I think overall it was just another way of them trying to get a video out of me. You know, maybe I could be wrong, but I'm like, that's literally how every other video, that was about me, that came from you guys, how it all got started. You guys, found some sort of way that's like, oh, let's get him involved in something and things. Like, I'll admit there's a couple of times where I did set myself up for failure, but there's other times where I'm like, you guys was just making videos for no reason. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's see you do a call where it's like you don't have nobody there to help you. You don't have nobody there to moderate the call. It's like it's just you and that person talking, debating, whatever. I guarantee and I promise you, just the robot's gonna crash out in that call. But anyway,
just wish there was like with these allegations, aside from the Cinebear stuff, everything else doesn't seem to have that much evidence backing it up, at least from my perspective.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
that you're a retard. There's not a lot of evidence to suggest that you're retarded. Come on, dude. Come on. What are you talking about? Bruh, you're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You really are. You're murdering me here. There's no way for me to be like remotely charitable to Jar anymore. It's just literally impossible. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get going now. I have a few.
Jesus Christ. Thank you all for watching.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the clip. Thank you Core for doing the editing. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. Check out the link in the description for the LOLcow trading card game. There's a brand new pack called Series X. That pack has my card in it, the tipster cards as well. On top of that, there's a bunch of other cast of characters in there, and we're also working towards an ultimate goal for that. So make sure you guys click on the link below. We're going to try and upload daily here and do live streams pretty often, so make sure you stick around and hit that like button. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, like just a robot. He's a character, man. I'm like, this is somebody I've been dealing with for 9 years, and it's just funny now having or seeing others get to see him too, and you know, for who he really is. But anyways, yeah, that was a pretty good video. Shout out to Chris the Narc. Make sure you guys haven't, go subscribe to him for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.